This is the 31st Lap Podcast, recorded live in the studios of FingerLakes1.com in downtown Seneca Falls, New York. And now, your hosts, Rich Post, John Bonus, Mike Mallet, and Chris Marquardt.
Good evening and welcome to the 31st Lap. There we go. Wow. How about that for a pop start, huh?
What's that?
The headset just kicked in.
Wow. Mine is only half on.
Yeah? Yours is half on too?
Yeah, I got like just the left side. And
one ear
right.
is on and one ear is off.
Yeah.
Sounds like a personal problem.
Huh.
Oh, it's personal. Yeah, hold on. I'm choking myself. There we go.
What are you
That's a little
doing?
better.
Everybody can see at home now. Believe it or not, returning to the 31st Lap for the first time in his own words 6 months. The one, the only, the wonderful, the beautiful Mike Mallet.
I don't know about wonderful and or beautiful. I read some of the emails I got today. You wouldn't agree?
What did you do?
Don't worry about it.
What did you do?
It's a whole other
now?
Story for another day.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I find that hard to believe.
How's your view?
Was it school related or was it racing related?
A little bit of everything.
Yeah,
How's
that's cool.
How's your view over there? You're sitting on the wrong side of the room now.
Am I? You know what? I don't mind it, actually. It's different. It's definitely different. But now,
does it feel more open
now
here?
it's weird because when I look up, I like my eyes look up. Before I would just look at the camera. Now I'm looking up to look at myself.
I like it now because I got a view of the monitor now.
Yeah, I don't.
Over there before, I couldn't. I had to literally
Yeah, it was over
turn
here.
around to
Yeah,
see
this
it.
is actually a pretty good setup. I think I kind of like it. I don't know,
Episode-
I'm debating, but I got this next to me now, so I'm kind of cool.
Episode number 74 of the 31st Lap coming to you. John also making the trip in. We've got Gary Tomkins coming up a little bit later on. We're going to catch up with Stewart Friesen a little bit later on, and then we've also got the USAC winner from Grandview.
The modern-day cowboy,
Modern-day
Daron Clayton.
Cowboy won a humdinger last night at Grandview.
Yeah, John was pulling his hair out because he had to work at the gate at Rolling
Yeah,
Wheels.
it was driving me crazy that I wasn't there, but what are you gonna do?
A humdinger.
You got to do what you got to do.
Everybody, from what I'm gathering from the message boards last night and today, the people that were there are saying that race at Grandview last night was the best Eastern Storm USAC sprint race to date. And they've been coming out here for, 7 or 8 years now, or whatever it's been. It's been a few years now, so apparently it was a good one. I've seen a lot of them out there. Missed that one. What are you going to do?
I'm sorry, John.
Had to work last night at the wheels, so it was a good night there. I had fun.
Good car count.
We had
very
it
good.
was packed, man.
Very good car
count. Good everything. I can't complain.
I thought the racing was pretty decent, too, all things considered.
Until Stu got the lead.
Well,
Yeah,
it's tough.
It was an unusual race. It went green to check.
Yeah, I mean, that was impressive. I mean, the sportsman went green to lap 25, and then
the last 5 laps
45 minutes later.
But all in all, it was a very clean night. Even the heat races were hardly any problems
smooth.
at all.
Yeah, they were definitely pretty smooth.
we were trying to find ways to keep Alan interested in it. They're just
it's tough. Little kids.
He just doesn't understand it. Last night was Alan. He's our 3-year-old, and it was his first ever race. It was the first time he'd ever gone, and he had a good time. We had to put the windows down, crack him open a little bit, so he got acclimated to the noise the closer we got to the track and stuff. And then he put his headphones on, and he was walking around. He was having a good time, but he doesn't know anybody to root for anybody. He doesn't understand the whole qualifying, going to the feature, going to the money kind of thing. So.
Right. AKA,
at that age,
it's too
they're
many
not
races.
gonna understand.
Yeah.
One race, 100 laps, I'm done.
Yeah, he could actually really get into NASCAR because he can fall asleep.
That's why I like racing too.
Jeez.
What?
Looking at that camera, I look a lot tanner than I was the last time I was here.
Is that what we call it now? Tan.
Yeah. Well, I got white
I have a
lines
feeling.
here. if you
I
can see
have
it.
a feeling most
From the
of
sunglasses,
us,
right?
Yeah, from
I have a
coaching.
feeling most of us call it something else. It's not
Dude,
tan.
I got burned in the worst way at Cuba on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
nice out this
it was
weekend.
sunny and wide open field, man. It was.
It was a nice weekend until where did I go Saturday? Where was I?
We went to Woodhull. Remember?
Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of talk about.
Forgot
Woodhull.
about that.
How
That was fun.
We were both there.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
How was
Dude,
Woodhull?
I've burned some serious brain cells this week. I feel like my brain is not functioning. I'm so tired.
Jesus, and you
Did you? What was your last day with students?
Weren't even
Today?
drinking.
Tomorrow's my last day
Tomorrow.
with students. Thank you, Jesus.
Melissa's
you weren't
done.
even drinking that night.
I
What
know,
the hell?
that's the worst
I'm
part.
the one that should not remember.
I know. You should not remember.
Melissa's last day of students was yesterday.
Oh, shit, it sucks.
So
That's all right.
she wanted me to find out when it was, and if it was after hers, to give you a giant
to mock me.
yes.
A giant F-U. Well, let's hop into it here because we've got a tight schedule tonight. We've got Stewart Friesen, like you said. He'll be on at 7:30. Gary
10 minutes
Tomkins
from now.
scheduled for about 7:45, and then the modern day cowboy Daron Clayton scheduled for 8 p.m. I have a little history with Daron Clayton actually.
Oh, really?
The first and only time I've ever sponsored a car at the Knoxville Nationals was Daron Clayton. I had DirtTrackDigest.com on the wing panel. I got to ask him when he comes on if he's still got that wing panel because I want it.
Right.
Hang it, to add
How
to my
big was
collection.
the decal?
It was you could see it from the stands.
It was
and when Johnny Gibson said over the PA,
he
driving
did.
the Fatheads Eyewear, DirtTrackDigest.com, car number 92, the modern day cowboy Daron Clayton. It was freaking awesome.
How cool is that?
That was the coolest thing ever. It was at Knoxville. I was like, this is sweet. So it was fun.
I wish-
That's my story.
I wish you could have been at Cuba. I announced Cuba.
Yeah, did you have fun with that?
Yeah.
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 That's
Then we
cool.
ended up taping it too.
We went to Woodhall Saturday. It was really good. I can't complain.
I had a great time.
And I
Had a
think the
blast.
one thing that was most
Who
impressive,
won out there?
Donnie Lawson. I got his phone
Of
number.
course he did.
We will have him on.
I should have
and,
asked that. I should have just presumed.
Donnie Lawson will be on at some point. I got his phone number. So
Now, were
we
you
can
here
catch
weekly
up
from
with-
here on out then?
I'm here
within
weekly
reason.
until we start racing again. and
Within
then-
reason.
So I got a few weeks that I'll be in, and then once here's the way it looks like. It looks like the last week of June, I'm out for about 3 weeks in a row because I'm on the road literally for
Right.
3 weeks. I'm going to Ohio. I think John's coming with me again. We're going to Ohio Speed Week.
Cool.
Then the following week is ESS Sprint Week. And then the following week after that, I'm somewhere. I don't know where, but I know I got my super schedule. Hold on. You know what? Hold on a second. I have
The DTD
my Mike
super
Mallet.
schedule.
No, I have the Mike Mallet DTD super schedule.
You got your own version?
I have my own version. I have 141 races on the schedule.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, I've got, you want to know how many races I've done so far?
How many have you done?
40.
Nice.
40 races, 22 different tracks.
Wow, look at you.
All right, Thursday night, the 11th. Oh, the 11th, I will not be here. I'm at Expo Raceway for a BRP Tour race in Cortland, Ohio.
What?
Yeah.
You're not going to that.
Yes, I am.
Cut it out.
Because I got a Schweeken on Friday, so I'm just going to spend the night out there. Check that out. Rocking it. I might even go out with Brockman. He
The only
offered, Corey Brockman offered me if they got room, I can ride out with them.
That's the only race they have each
Once a year.
there. It's
Once a year.
It's during the fair.
Yeah, I talked to Brian Sportslander about that place last night. Let's just say he was not all that impressed with
The
it.
Dream won that race last year, I think.
Did he? Brian the Dream Weaver?
It was either last year or the year before.
He says they raced during the day?
Do they?
Yeah. Something weird about it. I don't know. I'll have to look. They don't have lights, I guess.
Oh.
Okay, so
Yeah,
we'll
it's
have
probably
to,
an old
it's an old
fairgrounds.
fairground. That's what he
Yeah.
said, and it's scary.
Yeah, I'll bet.
He goes, I don't want to discourage you from going there, but it's
well, it's just knowing they race once a year during the fair. That tells me right there that
Yeah, that you know that it is not
old school place.
Yes.
Middle-
Yes, indeed.
Middle of nowhere.
Would you call Syracuse an old school place?
That's called an old place. I don't know if it's old school.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Because they race once. Well, it's not during the fair, though.
no.
Yeah. Yep. So that's
Used
my
to be.
schedule. I
That's
mean,
different.
it is it's booked full.
Well, I'm just glad to have you back.
I'm glad to be
It's
here.
good to see you.
It's nice,
Nobody
Not
in the
as-
chat room is nearly as excited as I am.
No, Ken said hi.
Did he?
Yeah, I told him I missed him.
Nice.
So it's been good. It's gonna be nice.
When's Ken gonna show his face
I
sometime?
don't know. I'm just glad that school's almost done because I need to sleep in, just one day. Just sleep. Just
Wah,
sleep.
Mike.
Like-
Wah.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I am
I
exhausted.
told you last night.
I know.
I don't want to hear a
I
word
know.
about sleeping in.
Oh,
word.
dude.
Not a
Yeah,
word.
but
I
here's the
understand.
thing.
I understand that my situation is a self-inflicted wound.
Yeah, I don't feel bad for you. You're the idiot.
So was
that's-
his.
Yeah, I mean,
He
Here-
didn't have to go to the races last
no,
night.
but it's not
could've
even the
stayed
race.
home.
Here's the thing: I have to go to the races now. I own Dirt Track Digest.
Oh,
Like, somebody's
Jesus,
got to
here
write
we
the
go.
columns.
Here we go.
You know, if I
I
wanted
like how
to,
you threw the.
Listen,
I
if
like how
I-
you threw the I owned.
if I want it to be profitable, I have to make it profitable, and somebody's got to do all that work. The front page doesn't magically just update itself, which I wish it does. I mean, I have help. I mean, GT Smith does a lot of that.
Hey,
You
I was
know?
there trying to help you last night.
And and Outlaw Photo does a great job. George does a great job with the photo gallery, but
Maybe you should have sent him out there last night.
George,
Yeah. How come?
what's he
going
going to do? Write the story? He's
Sure.
a photographer.
Why not?
I saw Lenny there.
It's
I'm
not the
pretty
same
sure it was
as I got a notepad. Does that make me a writer? I mean, I got a camera. Does that make me a photographer? That's for
Lenny. All
DC,
for
but
Pete's
he's not
sake.
listening.
That's a whole different conversation right there.
Yeah,
all the
get some
press
friends.
passes. All the press passes that have to get doled out for some of those shows.
Yeah, so it's been fun though. I mean, I can't complain. I've been doing a crap ton of racing. I mean, that's the only way to put it. And I got to tell you, I knew this was going to be a lot of work, but it is like a full-time freaking job. Like, it is more full-time than I think my full-time. Like,
Right.
like my full-time job's hard. There's a lot to do there. And then I think, though, when you factor in that I've been coaching and I was doing all that, so it's, get up, go to work, coach, come home, update.
It's like Groundhog Day, right?
Yeah. That's what it's been for the last 6-8 weeks. So now that baseball's
it's good to have you back there, Bill.
Yeah. Yeah. You're going to choke so I can give you the Heimlich and then, but no, it's
Bill
nice.
Murray over there.
It's nice to be back in a sense. And it's nice that baseball's done because now I can relax after school. That gives me a couple hours to chill out. So I'm back, ready to go.
Good.
Okay, I'm
Good,
done.
because we got a lot of people on tonight.
Done with my rant. I know.
Full show.
I know. I hate when we have 3 people, so what do? I book 3 people.
Yeah. I asked you to get 2. We got 2, and then you're like, oh, by the way.
Well, listen, here was the thing.
It's not
most
like
people
you gotta
are.
rush tonight. You don't have
we don't have
show following it.
Right. And here's the thing. We have Stewie, Gary, and Clayton. I could not pass up.
No, you can't.
I booked the other 2 last night, and then the chance came up to book Daron Clayton. I'm like, we got to have him. He won Grandview last night. That'd be really awesome.
Yeah. And,
and
again,
again,
they're not racing tonight because it rained out.
Right. So if. What are the chances
what is
we have?
He doing? He's sitting in a motel
probably sitting in the rain, down at Path Valley. Yeah. So,
well, they canceled this afternoon, so
yeah. Well, I'm good.
So anyway,
take more time off for my real job. Yeah, Ken, that's always good.
Are you reading the chat? Is that what you're doing?
I'm reading the chat, trying to talk, and the worst part is my brain's not functioning at full capability. It never normally does, but tonight it's even worse. I mean. When I walk in with a 10-ounce can of Red Bull, that it's one of those days.
Pretty sure that's a 12er.
Mm-hmm. I got another one in the car to get home.
Yeah, he bought 2.
Good. They're probably on sale.
Good grief. And then he'll go home and complain because he can't sleep.
Yeah. I'll be fine with it. So
yeah.
I got
to find one of them and suck one of them down tonight.
Well, while you're getting Stu on the phone,
I will. You're getting Stu on the phone.
Well, I will talk about
is that
the race.
my cue? Am I getting
I think he just gave you your cue.
So let's talk about last
Nice.
night's race. Stewart Friesen picked up the victory after starting 9th. He had a little help early. Ronnie Johnson dropped to the rear at the green flag, took the green and pulled in. So Stewie ended up there. And then he was just on a charge. I mean, by the 5th lap, he was 3rd.
Yeah, he was flying.
And then he took the lead. I believe it was lap, 15 got the lead from Billy Decker. And from there, checked out. Now, I will say, though, late in that race, Gary Tomkins was coming. Maybe a caution. He's got, and we'll talk to Gary about it, but he basically, when I talked to him, said, we were coming, we don't run a lot of 60-lap races here. So, that
it had to be curveball for some of the planning.
Yeah, because normally you run 100, so the 60-lap kind of, where do you go? Where does it fall? Where do you do with your car? Some other guys.
I figured odds would be in favor for Brett Hearn because he usually goes really well right up until lap 90.
Yeah,
and
then, but he came on, and then he kind of faded there. When and Shepard got him for 3rd, and then Hearn was 4th, and Billy Decker rounded out the top 5. If you want to know 6 through 10, Alan Johnson was 6th. Billy Dunn 7th. Not a bad recovery. He started 19th, I think it was.
Wow.
19th. So
boy,
he got up here.
Steve Payne looked good in his heat race. He looked good in qualifying.
He looked good
he
for
fell
about
like a stone in the feature. He was 19th or something.
Well, the thing was, early in the race, everybody was still trying to hug the bottom like they were in the heat race.
Yeah.
And the middle to the top there was just enough up there that it went well. I talked to Dale Plank, who drove Mike Payne's car for the first time, and he said midway through the race, up until about the midpoint of the race, the top was spectacular, and then it just went gone. Dusted off, So, there was the good and the bad. If your car was good on the top,
you could see the middle, especially coming off of 2. The middle during the heats, Ronnie Johnson looked like a hero.
Yeah, the middle was good. The middle was good.
The
so, I did get a chance to talk with Mike Payne and Dale Plank and that whole situation. I'll highlight it a little bit here. Just basically, they have no clue yet.
Right.
That's the highlight. I'll have some quotes. I will have a column up for Dirt Track Digest later this evening. I got it half done. I've been working on that in between everything else I've been doing, so I will do my best to have that up for you sometime tonight. If not, it'll be up early in the morning, which could be probably tonight. Well, joining on this line now is your winner from the Rolling Wheels Raceway last night, the Hall of Fame 60, driver of the Tom Cullen Motorsports, number 1 WGC, Stewart Friesen. Stewart, how are we doing tonight, boss?
Good. Had a busy day, working on race cars, and looks like everything's ready to go for the weekend.
Yeah, well, let's get right into it. Congratulations, first off, on the win, and it wasn't just a win. You had a pretty dominant performance.
Yeah, definitely. Tom and Roxanne got a great team there, and we've been good at Utica Rome and really not done a lot of traveling with Tom's stuff, and we went to Rolling Wheels, cautiously optimistic. We knew we had a good car and what it was going to take, and just things needed to play out right. And it was good. We were good right from when we unloaded, and just worked on small changes all night long, and then adjusted with the track conditions, and it was good. It was an awesome evening for us.
We were just talking about the race here and looking at it. I mean, you started 9th. Ronnie drops out early. You're up to 7th. By lap 5, you were already up to 3rd, and then on lap 7 you got the 2nd, and then you battled with Billy Decker. I mean, it just seemed like everything fell your way there. The dominoes all fell for you in those opening laps.
Yeah, we made some really good decisions. Eric Mack does my tires, and he just made good calls with the tires all night long. We heat cycled our feature right rear in the heat race, and we're able to get it prepped accordingly, and the tires fired right away, and just I think gave me a little bit of a jump on guys that put new tires on that needed some time to get them heat cycled and cured in, which is kind of weird. It seems like it takes with the American racers and the Hoosiers now. It's definitely a heat cycled tire is ready to go, and like I said, the things they just fired, and I could get inside outside of guys, and we're able to pass some really awesome cars right there at the beginning of the race.
How special is it to you to win at Rolling Wheels? I know it was your first ever victory at the track.
Yeah, huge. Rolling Wheels is one of the most special places history-wise. It's one of the most historic tracks, I guess I should say, in New York and in the Northeast. And only being a specials only type track makes it even better. Excuse me, and it's just one of those places that's whenever it's on the schedule and whenever we can get there, it's always a highlight, and it's really awesome to get the job done there. One of my grandfather's good friends. What was that?
You're fine.
You guys pushing buttons there or what?
Maybe a little.
Yeah.
Oops.
No, my grandfather's good friend, Terry Edwards, that he raced with back, in the 60s and 70s, won the first ever race at Rolling Wheels. I forget what year it was, but he was one of my mentors growing up, and we did a lot of TQ midget racing together. And one of the midgets that I drove on the pavement was one that Terry built. So we were able to go racing a lot together, and to get a win at the track that he had the first win at is definitely pretty special for me and the rest of the family.
We got a question coming in here from the live chat. They're wondering, what is your Super Dirt Series schedule like? I know you've got several cars, several options to run the races, but obviously, you have your Sunday commitments at Utica Rome.
Yeah, definitely. First and foremost, we're gonna chase the championship at Utica Rome, which kind of stinks. We have home track points at Albany Saratoga, and so we'll miss I guess it's the Cornwall race on June 30th. And then I think there's a race, which would be the last point race of the year at Utica on September 1st. I think it's a Rolling Wheels race. I'm not quite sure. But those are the two conflicts that we'll be looking at Utica Rome first. But you never know. Rainouts could play a factor. At the end of the year at Utica, you never know if we had a big enough point lead to actually skip. If everything goes right, I don't want to count my chickens there before they hatch. But sometimes things go right, and you get a little bit of a point lead, and we're able to skip a race and maybe chase a series. It's kind of too early to tell, but it was just kind of a one-off race with Tom, and we're looking forward to running Jake Spraker's car at the Dirty Jersey race in 2 weeks. You bring up the Dirty Jersey race. I know you're co-promoting that event with Brett Dale. How are things going? I know you guys got some cool promotions going for that show. Specifically the one I think is pretty neat is the tailgate party thing.
Yes.
Giving some passes out, things
like
for that. Yeah. So what are some other things you guys got going on that night?
We're just trying to make it as a real fan accessible, fan friendly, I should say, event. We got a bunch of stuff going on. The tailgate contest. We're putting together like a whole type of midway behind the grandstands. There's going to be an RC car track, simulators. A whole bunch of things for fan interaction, which we're looking forward to doing and getting set up. And then to add to that, the list of drivers that we've got committed is, I'm not really going out on a limb here to say it's probably one of the best fields put together for a race in, the 2000 era, really. It's very an all-star field. We got, Delaware guys, H.J. Bunting, Jamie Mills, Matt Jester are coming from Delaware. The PA Jersey guys, Dwayne Howard, Craig Von Doren, those guys. Kenny Brightbill's got a ride, which is pretty cool. And then you bring in all the Super Dirt Car Series stars, the Travelers, in on top of that, and it's going to be definitely an all-star show.
How excited are you to get that first promotion go out of the way? Like, I know it's a lot of work leading up to all these shows. How excited are you for the event to get here and to get going?
I'm real excited. I've been on AccuWeather.com and checking the long-range forecast all the time, and it checked it today, and it was only like a 10% chance of rain, and it said partly cloudy. So I guess it could go either way. As long as I'm just really worried about the weather, honestly. But I think if we get some good weather, it's just going to be an awesome program. Everything's pretty much set. The stage is kind of set. The track at New Egypt has been really good. They had some struggles with a rough surface at the beginning of the year, but they've got that ironed out. I was there with Jessica for the World of Outlaws show a couple weeks ago, and it was good. It was tacky all night long. It was multi-grooved, and the big blocks will be back for the first time this year, and we're looking forward to it.
Change of pace here now. A couple weeks ago with the Empire Super Sprints, you had a chance to run a sprint car. Got a third-place finish. How much fun was that for you?
That was a lot of fun. Definitely, like you said, a change of pace. I really appreciate the opportunity that Doug Emery and Barb gave me to run their car. I got to run for Doug a couple years ago, and we got a win out at Ransomville. And we competed down at East Bay with the King of the 360s week event, and it was a lot of fun, And I wasn't sure if I was still be able to do it. I was out of it for about 3 years, and jumped right back in it, and it came right back to us. It's quite a bit different racing the sprint than the modified, but a lot of fun. A really racy car and fast. They're hooked up, and at a track like Utica that's wide open and fast. It was definitely a lot of fun.
Let's get to the real important stuff. I was talking with Mr. Hearn last night, and he was doing a little trash talking, comparing his team to yours. He said he's going to kick your ass.
Who is that, Mr. Who?
Mr. Hearn.
Fantasy.
Brett Hearn?
He said his fantasy team is going to kick your ass.
I don't know. Last time I checked, I was leading them by a little bit.
Actually, I updated the points this morning after last night's race, and you have gone back in front of him now by 10.
That's good. Where are we overall?
If I remember correctly, you were 8th and he was 10th, maybe something like that.
8th and 10th. All right. Well, we actually I talked to Brett after we signed up for the fantasy league, and oddly enough, other than I obviously picked myself, and he obviously picked himself.
Right.
But other than that, our teams are very, very, very similar.
Yeah, I know. He was talking about that last night.
I got it right here in front of me right now. Stewie is 8th. Stewie, you're 8th. And Brett Hearn is 9th by 10
like
points.
10 points, right? Yeah. I knew it was 10 points.
Yeah. Well, with Neil the Wheel not qualifying last night, that hurt me a little bit. I got him as one of my guys. And once the Quebec races start going, I got David Hebert, and I take care of kind of the northern region. So hopefully he gets rolling here and log some good runs for us.
One more thing for you, Stu, before we let you go. I wanted to mention the win you got at Utica Rome. You finally got that big $5,000 win race for Tom and Roxanne. Do you feel now when you come out for the big shows that there's a little bit of pressure off you now because you've been trying for so long to win one of those shows for them?
Yeah, definitely. You couldn't have said it better. Yeah, for sure. I've been this is the 4th year I've been with Tom and Rox, and we got a great race team. We got great, 2 Teal Pro cars and great CC motors. But we've been good. We've been in the championship hunt. We've got the championships at Utica Rome. We've won a bunch of races, but it just seems like every extra distance, extra paying event, we've struggled or had bad luck. Had things break, and we got out there in that race, and it went the same way. We got in a jingle in the heat race. I spun it out, had to go to the consi, and I'm like, man, here it goes again, and just made some kind of different adjustments to the car. And really hit on something, and were able to come up through the pack and get that win. And it was just like the weight of the world was lifted off after that. Everybody on the crew that we've been trying so hard for these past 4 years, and to get that, everybody was just really super happy. And it allows you to go into events like Rolling Wheels last night with just that little bit more confidence.
Well, Stu, hey, we want to wish you the best of luck this weekend. Doesn't look like tomorrow you're going to get much racing in, but
yeah, it looks pretty wet tomorrow, but we're hoping for Fonda for Saturday.
All right, man. Thanks for joining us again. Congratulations on the win last night at Rolling Wheels.
Okay, take care, guys. Have a good night.
See you, man. Thanks.
So again, Stewart Friesen, winner of the Hall of Fame 60 last night at Rolling Wheels Raceway, co-promoter of the Dirty Jersey 60, and I think that's one of the neater things. Brett Deo, he has been all over God's green earth this year promoting that show. He's been at Utica. I saw him at the Wheels last night. He was at the Wheels last night.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, he is doing what he can to.
If only we could have stayed longer.
Yeah, to promote that event, and
he came up Thursday. He said.
Yeah.
Or
Tuesday, for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and he spent the night, and he was going home this morning, I guess.
Yep. Yeah, I actually talked to him midday today.
Did you?
Seeing how his ride home was going. It was kind of nice to be able to rub it in that, you're the one with the ride home, because normally it's the one,
right.
It's me. I got the ride home. So that was pretty neat. But it was, where was I going with that? The promotion they're doing, the fan stuff. I wish I could go because I'd like to see it. But it's just one of those things. It's just so far for me on a.
I mean, the entry list that they've got coming together is amazing.
It's kind of like last night. Like I will give Dirt Car credit. Last night they had that old school feel to the Super Dirt Series again because you had.
What do you mean?
You had some weird invaders there. You had Ryan go down. Neil Williams came up. Brian Schwartzlander. Like that kind of stuff.
It was nice to see Bicchetti and Ronnie show up.
Yeah,
Jeremy Wilder was there.
Yeah, it's like different guys.
A lot of people you didn't expect to be there.
Right.
They haven't been there the last few years.
Right.
For one of their races,
the
it was more like closer to what it used to be.
Right, and that's what you come to expect out of the Super Dirt Series. I mean, that's why I think we all fell in love with the Super Dirt Series.
Right, because you got
you always had that collection
of
talent. Right.
Yeah.
And that's what I liked about it, and it was nice to see that change.
I mean, the rundown that they've got at the Dirty Jersey 60 right now sounds like a Super Dirt week from
same kind
15
of thing.
years ago.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what makes that show. It's going to make that show special. Is the chance to see all the different guys because right now you go to the Rock.
You're going to see what Super Dirt Week was, but you're going to have it on a short track.
Right, and you had, like the ROC does a good job of that too. They have the different guys.
Yeah, you'll see that next week at Penn Can.
Right on Deo's show on Tuesday night. Yeah, so
mixture of everybody there.
I mean, if you're going to Penn Can, you'll see that. If you're going out to Canandaigua, you got a chance to see some sprint cars.
How much is Matt Shepard going to win at Penn Can?
He's got to win first.
He hasn't. Has he won that race yet?
No,
I don't think so.
He's never won there.
No.
All the more reason.
Yeah. That place is a great equalizer.
It is
because
there's been some great races.
Yeah, Go Down came for what 20-something last year to get second.
Yeah, and he damn near won that.
Yeah, so I mean it's
and then he won in the fall.
Yeah, so Penn Can, it's anybody's guess who's
what
going to
happened
win.
to Bobby Varon last night?
I know they had.
He got a lap there.
Yeah, I know they had engine
issues,
I believe.
16th or 17th, I think.
Engine issues early after the heat race. That was what I heard. I don't know.
He must have been in the first heat race, right?
Yeah, he started on the pole. He was fast time in the first heat, and then started on the pole, won his heat, and then redrew the worst number, 10.
Yeah, right.
10. Yeah, and
right.
he kind of looked like he did kind of what Payne did, where he was married to the bottom.
Yeah,
and early on the bottom just wasn't as good as it had been because the top came around. It was impressive how good the top got. And Dale Plank, I talked with him. He was driving Payne's car for the first time,
race.
And he said, I was the top when the top was there. I was great, and as soon as that went away, I was way too free. I couldn't roll in on the bottom.
Yeah, and
then once that went away, that's when he started fading. I mean, because he was in the top 5 almost right up to about the halfway point.
Right,
and then it started, going backwards a little bit.
I talked to him for a couple of minutes last night, Plank, when he came in through the gate because I was working the pit gate at the Wheels. And I was anxious to talk to him and ask him about the whole speedster thing, how that's been going down at Kutztown.
Yeah, and he's enjoying that. What's funny?
And he said he's loving it. It's great.
Did you see the post on DTD about Ron Oswald saying that I was at Kutztown?
I told you about it last night. Last night when I saw you, I said, "What were you doing there? You didn't even tell me you were going."
Last night I wasn't there. I wasn't at Kutztown.
It was your twin. I read
There's
more
somebody
of it
I guess
today.
looks like me at Kutztown. Well, Del Plank comes up to me and goes, "Hey, I read that post today about seeing you at Kutztown." He goes, "I saw you." I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Yeah, I went up and I shoved the guy in the shoulder. I said, 'Hey, what are you doing here?' And the guy just looks at me like, 'Who the hell are you?' He goes, "I swore to God it was you." I'm like, "That is funny."
I saw that you posted that today.
That was freaking funny. Yeah, I Dale's good. He's a good dude. He's funny.
If I had known that before I saw him last night, I probably would have messed with him a little bit.
Yeah, it was awesome. Hey, you want to get our next guest on the line?
Sure.
We're rapid fire tonight. Rapid fire.
Yeah, we got to keep it moving.
And then we'll get into our discussion after we get
Clayton last. Right?
Yes, Clayton is 8:00. I scheduled him for 8 p.m. because I told
right
Gary I told Gary we'd call him.
What are we talking about tonight? I figured you got all this time to. Whew. I didn't. You got to be. I got to be honest. I've gotten away from writing a script altogether.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I came in, nothing's here.
Well, I mean,
it's free flow, man. Free flow.
Well, not even so much that. We've kind of got this thing down to a science. We know how we want to run it.
Yeah, we run we BS for 15 minutes. Get into an interview. Get into another interview. Then I usually bring up some topics, or somebody brings up some topics from the message boards and things like that.
Well, the other reason that I quit doing a script is because none of the stuff that we scripted out ever happened anyway.
No, we gave up on that. I mean, I haven't even done a winners list, nothing like that either. It's all here. And if you got your Dirt Track Digest app, I'll plug myself as usual. You can see all the winners. It is updated.
What do you think of the new setup here?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. I don't like that up there. I like it more right here so I can look at the camera as I'm looking at myself. Instead, now I look up, and I can see myself on the camera looking up. Then I keep looking at the screen. That's
there,
in
how's
front of
this?
me.
Now you won't be able to tell you're looking up.
I got too many cameras going because I have in front of me right now, I have the live chat going.
www.livestream.com.
Yeah, and I can hear Bombas outside. He's pretty loud. Gary Tomkins.
He's got the subtlety of a rabid moose on the phone.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
So Gary Tomkins will be next. He ran an impressive race last night, and it was nice to see Gary Tomkins.
And he won
run
Saturday.
Yeah,
he won
so
Saturday at Canandaigua.
And we had a chance to chat about that, and we'll talk to him about it here when he comes on.
When I
figured something out.
Well, when I heard Danny Johnson was out of that ride, I'm thinking
that's what your thought.
Justice is going to be justice will be served.
I think it's kind of like anything. You don't see a lot of teams once they're apart go back together.
No.
You're
right.
You know what I mean? That's kind of how that goes. On occasion, you will, but
I think Jake Spraker's probably the only one that comes to mind between Alan Johnson and then Bobby Varon.
Yeah,
having him in and out of the car repeatedly.
Yeah. Well, joining us on the phone now is our second place finisher last night in the Hall of Fame 60 out the Rolling Wheels Raceway, Gary Tomkins. Gary, how we doing?
Doing good.
So, are you still smiling from last night? Because I know when I talked to you last night, you were grinning from ear to ear, and the smile did not leave your face.
Yeah, I am. We had a really good run. Can't complain one bit, really. I mean, second place from 11th. Actually, started 9th. I got thinking about it tonight. Actually, my wife was talking to me about it, that RJ, Ronnie Johnson, he's supposed to start in front of Stu, who started right in front of me, and he had a problem right at the start. I don't know what happened to him. But
yeah, he
dropped
pulled
out
in
of line,
right.
and me and Stu moved up a spot. But still, I mean, we got rolling, and Stu beat us to the front, and it just ran out of time. But we had a good car the whole race. I mean, I was really happy with the way things performed.
How much more I don't know if it's more satisfying is the word that would be the proper way to say it, but you're doing this deal with your own team. How does that feel, considering it's all your hard work, your money, your effort going into this deal, to see the results you're having? You won Saturday at Canandaigua, then you come back with a second at Rolling Wheels.
It's definitely a lot more satisfying this way because, like you said, it's us. It's me and my wife and my crew chief Kyle Ames and people have helped us out, and that's really it. I mean, I don't have a big time crew chief. I don't have a big time car owner, spend all this money. So we've had to scrap and scrape to get everything together to do what we do, and end up racing like we've been racing the last couple of races. I mean, it's only 2 races, but you know what? At Canandaigua, really, we've had 1 DNF, and we've had rest of them in the top 10. So we've been close the whole time, all season long. So we've really felt like we could be competitive, and we've shown that we can. And now we just gotta keep rolling, and hopefully, even with a small budget, we can keep going and keep the car competitive.
You mentioned last night you found something with the shocks. Yeah. How much has that changed the car for you?
It actually makes a lot of difference with these cars, believe it or not. That's really all I've been changing all year. It's just mostly rear shocks, just trying different combinations, and we just hit on something last Saturday, and that the car liked the way the shocks worked on it, and we ended up throwing them on to the feature again last night, and the thing again worked good enough to get second. So it's just one of them deals, I guess. I mean, it's funny. You always trying different combinations. I mean, I've got notes and notes and notes, and just if, for whatever reason, right this very moment, that's what's working. That doesn't mean it's going to work next week or next month, but right this second, that's what works. So now I just got to keep on top of it. For as the year goes on, the tracks are going to change a little bit. Sun's out more, track will dry out and stuff like that. So got to keep on top of it, and hopefully we can and still be competitive throughout the year.
Last night, 60 laps instead of 100. Like the normal Super Dirt Series races. You really wanted to see that race go longer last night, didn't you?
In a way I did, in a way I didn't. Actually, my car started getting a little loose, But talking to Matt Shepard, his car did too. So I guess we're both in the same boat. But I mean, we set up for a 60-lap race, so it is what it is. I mean, if it would have been a 100-lap race, I would have set up different for that. Because you got to try to take into consideration how the car is how the track's going to be at the beginning of the race and how it's going to be at the end of the race, and then try to come up with something that's going to work. Hopefully decent in the beginning and decent at the end. So because the track's going to change, it's going to it's going to slow up and stuff. So and that's really what we did, and we were right there. We were close to what we wanted to do. I mean, like I said, the car freed up a little bit more than I would have liked, but we were still fast at the end. So it was just surprising. We went 60 laps without caution, but you know what? That's credit to the drivers out on the track that we could do that. But it is what it is. I mean, second place, it's better than third, so definitely take it. I mean, like I said, we had a fast car, and that's good. That hopefully we can keep it going.
We've been talking, and we were talking when we came on the air tonight about how that race kind of had a different feel than the last few races at Rolling Wheels.
Yep.
It had almost like an old school Super Dirt Series feel in the sense that there was a lot of different guys that you haven't seen at it.
Yeah, it had a different feel. Matt Shepard didn't win it.
Yeah, but it was a lot of different guys that you had that weren't the traditional Super Dirt Series guys. Like Ryan Godown came up, Ronnie Johnson, Bobby Varon. Guys that have been hit or miss with this series, but they were all there last night and it all came together. And it had that old school feel for me. What did you think?
Yeah, definitely. That was. I mean, we were parked next to Brian Schwartzlander from Western, Pennsylvania, and we, like I said, go down and RJ and Bobby Varon and Flack and Kenny Tremont. So it was pretty cool to see all those guys there like that. I mean, there's 45 cars, but there was quality cars there too. I mean, so it was good to see that the guys came out and support the first race. I think it was a pretty good idea that they moved the race from Memorial Day weekend to midweek. I mean, I would have liked to see it on Memorial Day, but that's Utica Rome's weekend. So, you're really, drawing cars away from that when you do that. So now, do it on a night like last night where there's nobody to compete with you. And
yeah, it worked well.
So early in the season, so there's nobody, it's still early enough for guys to have money in the budget where they can go race, and everybody wanted to go race, and they did.
Yeah. One of the questions that's popped up here in the chat room a few times is, any chance the Mike Payne ride is open? Is there have you asked about it? Have you gone that way? Has there been any talk? That seems to be what everybody wants to know.
One way or the other.
Yeah. I haven't talked to him. I really I don't know. I've been down that road. I've been there 14 years, and I think that they're going to go a certain way, and I wish them luck. If they're going to give Dave Margatelli a shot at Canandaigua, I applaud him for that. I think I think a guy like that needs to give a shot like that, and I think he'll do pretty good in it. And like I said, my name I know has been brought up a lot. People would keep asking me, but nothing's been mentioned, and I'm too busy to worry about my own stuff. I'll just worry about that and let everything else take care of itself.
On the topic of budgets and things like that, do you anticipate getting out to Penn Can?
Actually, as soon as I get off the phone with you guys, I drove the 30-plus car a couple times last year, and I've been in contact with those guys, and I'm going to call Larry Bertel right after this and see what's going on. The plan was to drive that car there next Tuesday, and I'm hoping that we can still do that. I know there's a graduation or something going on that night, so I don't know how many guys are going to be missing or something, but I can bring some of my crew down there if that's what it's going to take to do that. I'd really love to drive that car down there. We were down there once before that car, and we went pretty decent, Hopefully I can drive that car down there. I told Brett Dale last night that I definitely want to be there, so we'll find out. I want to go there, and if I do it, hopefully be with that car.
Gary, what are your expectations as far as the series goes? Do you plan on doing the whole thing, or just going to be hit and miss, or just start out, see how it goes?
We're going to try to run the whole thing, but again, that all depends on finances.
Right, right.
If we can afford to do it, we're definitely going to do it. That's, people complain about the series, but really, if you make all the shows, you can make some decent money at it. It's obviously there's some of them far away, but you just got to try to make as many as you can, and that's our plan, is try to make them all, and hopefully do decent in points and, get some money at the end of the year and stuff. So right now, that's the plan. We're obviously going to take it one at a time, but like I said, we're going to race till the money runs out, and that's it. So
that's good. That's good to hear. I'm glad you're following it, Tour.
But we'll see what happens. Hopefully we can find some help there too. I know people like to help a guy that's running up front, so hopefully we're running up front now and we can get some help.
How about the deal with I know last fall for Super Dirt Week you had to deal with pole position. Is there anything going on with that for the future?
They're on the car, but they're they're just a small sponsor.
Yeah.
They've helped out a little bit. Actually, really, they helped us out as much last year as they had this year. The deal with pole position is it's owned by 96 investors, and I believe like 93 of them race.
Right.
Kurt Busch is an
Kurt
investor,
Busch is in it. Yep.
Ryan Villapoto. I mean, there's a lot of...
I think Jamie Little's involved with it, and
there's all kinds of different investors, so it's really... I talked to the CEO this winter. He was there at the Syracuse location, and he said that it'd really be stupid to give money when it's all racers' money, so they're trying to do it as an investment. So we have got a little bit of help from the Syracuse location, and we thank them for that, but really nothing. They can't really do more than that right now. So,
right.
We got to look for some other way to get some finances and get some help.
You got to get tied up with Rolf Schnurr.
I know, right?
One of the questions that keep coming in, what about Syracuse? I know that's a long ways away, but people want to know. Syracuse?
Well, you know what? We tied Channel 6 there, which is surprising as heck last year. And if the track's going to be like it was last year, then we're going to go back there and do the same deal we did last year. I mean, what it turned into was a big short track, and if it's like that, then you ain't got to worry about the little aerodynamic stuff. You can go with the basic body. You ain't got to worry about the super high dollar motor, because you can take your short track motor as long as it's a decent motor.
Right.
And then you just got to worry about setup more than anything, and you don't have to spend $3,000 for tires. We spent more in tires at Orange County than we did at Syracuse last year.
Wow.
So hopefully if the track's going to be like that, and talking to Joe Scott Nicky and those guys, that's what they're trying to do, is trying to slow it down, trying to make it a racetrack. When it gets slow, we can actually move around and pass. I mean, during the race last year, we were running up by the wall in the corners at times. So
it was the last 2 years. They've really done a wonderful job. I mean, we know the history of that place. Historically, it's always not a lot of passing, and it's very narrow. But the last 2 years, they've done a great job of preparing that track to make it as racy as much as you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, last couple of years,
they've had a lot of clay to it, and that's what slowed it down. It's made it slippery.
Yep.
Back in 2005, 2004, I mean, in 2005 in practice, I went around there in 28-1-1-1, and I wouldn't say I was scared. I was pretty excited, but it was on the edge. I mean, it was you had to be on a thin line, having the tires in the right spot to make sure that thing, that car was in the right spot to be fast, and you couldn't deviate out of that line, or else you weren't going to be fast, and now it's gotten to the point where you're driving around the track, trying to drive a line where it's going to be fast for your car, but it may not be right around the bottom. It may be up the track a ways. So
right.
If it's going to be like that, then you know what? Then we can race on it. Then we can work on what we got to do to try to pass the car in front of us. Where is he slow? Where can I pass him and stuff? So
nice.
Something like that. I think it's going to be good. It'll be exciting for the fans and definitely for us drivers.
Well, Gary, we don't want to keep you too long here. If you want to take a shot here, go ahead. Give us your website, contact info, things like that, where people can get a hold of you. That way, hey, if they want to throw some money your way.
Yeah, who's doing your website now?
Craig Rowell's doing my web. He does an excellent job. Finish line web design on. Actually, he did a proposal for me too. Actually, he does a proposal for me, and we sent it out to one company, and they just they haven't looked it all over and decided what they're going to do yet. But they did say when they looked at it that it was one of the best they've seen. So I give credit for that. He does my website too, GaryTomkinsRacing.com. Got all my info on there, how to get a hold of me and stuff like that, and and he's been a big help. Ken Brewer, BA Performance, Bicknell Racing Products, Bill Steinschak, DC Rouser, Pole Edition, like I said before, Morrison Engines, Pat Morrison, that motor in there is really really pretty cool. It's an awesome race piece. It wasn't beginning of the night last night. The track was really fast, and that motor is not made for that. It's made to race, and you can see that at the end of the night. Where when it was money time, that motor really took off, and he really built a good piece. I got to thank my wife and my son for putting up with me, and my crew, especially Kyle Ames, all the sacrifices and all the hard work he does, and I really got to thank those guys. I got to thank Stu Shepard. He's helped out a little bit this year. He's we sublet a spot pretty much from Dave Rouser at Stu's shop out back to his garage, and I really get a chance to talk to Stu. I mean, he used to be my crew chief back in the late '90s, so we've had a history. So I've known him for quite a lot of years, and it's good to have somebody like that so I can bounce ideas off of. So just people that help us out. Obviously I can't do this myself. It's definitely a team effort, and I thank everybody for allowing me to do this.
Cool.
Well, thanks a lot, Gary, man. We appreciate your time tonight, and best of luck to you this weekend, and thanks again for being on the 31st lap.
Thanks. All right, thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, Gary.
All right, thanks.
Whew.
Go right on it, Daron.
Rapid fire. Gotta love it. I love rapid fire.
Gary got the win Saturday at Canandaigua, and Ray Hendershot picked up his second win of the year in the New Legends division. Ray was on the show after he won his first over there at Canandaigua Motorsports Park, which is his first after he took about 30 years off of racing. So it was good to see him back in victory lane, but now he's got off to this fast start. You got to be careful, because if he wins one more, if he wins,
he's got to slow down.
If he wins one more, he's going to be heading up to the full blown sportsman division. I don't know if he's if that's something that he really wants to do. But you said you haven't even had a chance to listen to that show.
Like I said, I like to listen to the show when I'm traveling, because it gives me
you got time coming up.
I know. I'll be on the road. So,
can you believe this is episode 74?
Is that where we're at already?
Yeah.
Holy crap! Wow.
Yeah.
And if you factor in the live shows, it's got to be it's got to be higher than that. Looking last night at Grandview, since we're going to talk to him, Daron Clayton picked up the victory over Brian Clausen, Levi Joe's Hunter Schoenberg, and Chase Stockin. So there's that. If you want to know how to spell his name, it's Daron for the graphic.
I don't think I ever made a graphic.
You didn't make a graphic? Well, it was a late arrival.
Yeah.
It was one of those I added here about what time was it? About 6. I think it was on the way out that I actually finished the deal for that.
Yeah.
I got to thank Ty Garl for helping me out with that. So he said, "Hey, you want me to get a hold of him?" And I said, "Hey, sure, cool."
I'm afraid if we lose the internet connection by trying to screw around with that.
That's fine. Don't break it.
Yeah, don't break it.
Don't break it.
It's a fair assessment.
All right, we got
give
him.
it a try.
It's probably in some hotel down by Path Valley, which I don't even know where that is. I know it's in Pennsylvania.
If it's anything like when we were talking to Frank Cozy a couple weeks back, it's going to be magic.
Oh, was he in the tunnel, Lehigh Tunnel?
Yeah, I don't know where he was. But wait, guy was. Yeah,
like that. Oh, okay. Well, joining us on the line now, last night's winner of the first of 4 scheduled Eastern Storm races, so the first of 3 now scheduled.
Now one of them's gone now.
The modern-day cowboy, Daron Clayton. And Daron, congratulations on the Grandview win.
Hey, thanks, guys.
So, you get the rain out tonight. What do you do in this free time? You just kind of sit in the hotel and hang out, or what's going on?
It's not just today. They got 2 days because they don't race tomorrow either.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah.
Yeah, we got a couple days off here. We're probably going to cruise down to Gettysburg tomorrow and race the museum here local. We're just at the Finland Inn right now having some cocktails and dinner.
Nice.
That is a good Thursday night right there. Cocktails and dinner. I wasn't there. We had a race up here in New York last night at Rolling Wheels Raceway, but everything that we've read on the message boards, everything that we've read on the internet
and the highlights from Gary Silverman's video
said it was one of the best USAC races you could ask for. Why don't you take us through how you got to victory lane?
Oh, just doing my thing, I guess. Set up for the bottom of the track, because I thought the top was going to go away and not be there. And I rode around the bottom for a couple laps. We got bored, so I hit the top. And
I thought it was 30 laps, so we put enough fuel in for 30, and you know, I'm running around the top. I'm like, well, if the top lasts 20 laps, I'll be lucky, you know. So I'm trying to think what I should be doing about midway through the race, and I just stayed up there and kept going, you know, and it worked out.
You know, that seems to be your traditional, you know, your traditional line. You
Yeah,
know, whenever I've
usually
had
on
the
the
chance,
cushion.
Yeah, had the chance to watch it. You like running the cushion, like hanging it out there.
Yeah, the bottom's dangerous. They got guardrails and tires in your way. I get up there where it's safe.
That's right.
I know you. You know, I had a chance to hang out with you a little bit there a few years ago when you ran the Knoxville Nationals, and you ran the wing stuff. Do you like being back in the non-wing stuff better now?
You know, I really like both cars, but I just cannot afford to run a wing car, you know, on my own. I just kind of put my stuff together and run as much as I can back home. You know, it's on my third race this year, and I've won 2 already, so we're doing pretty good. So, you know, I really like the non-wing deal. I'd like to do the wing racing. You know, I think I could be good at that too. I just haven't found anybody that's willing to go through the learning curve with me, you know, and that's. Sorry, cars are out here. I had to go outside to get some signal.
That's okay. Hey, that's okay.
You know, I'd love to do the wing deal. It'd be fun. You know, I really like racing with those guys, and they race hard, man. You know, you run with the Outlaws or the Pennsylvania Posse, you better have your guns loaded. You know.
Yeah, that's for sure.
You know, you mentioned the cost difference. How much of a cost factor is it to run, say, the non-wing and the wing stuff? I know the wing guys tend to race for more money, but how is the cost difference? How much of a gap is it really what you're spending?
You know, it's just so much harder on drive line and engine equipment, you know, for right now. You know, the biggest thing that got me burnt out on it in 2010 when they did the whole Goodyear-Hoosier split deal, and some guys were running Hoosier, some Goodyear. You know, a guy like me, I can't afford to buy 2 sets of 2 different brands of tires at full price, you know. They need to make some competition in the tire industry, I think. They're just running amok with the whole deal, to me, honestly. You know, it hurts a small racer, you know, when if you had tire companies competing with each other, it would be better for the whole deal.
Yeah.
You know, it would make guys produce good tires and make tires affordable. And, you know, I would really like to see more people focused on making racing move forward versus making a quick buck, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I
agree.
mean, we see that here.
And it's like that all over the country in
Yeah.
all forms of racing, unfortunately, it is.
Yeah, you mentioned that you've only run a few races this year. What made you decide to come east? You know, why come to Grandview, Path Valley, Port Royal, and Susquehanna?
You know, I really love racing out here because we get to see different tracks. You know, with the non-wing deal, we don't get to travel not even a quarter as much as I did with the wings. And I like running new tracks and doing new things, and it keeps it really interesting. And the fans out here are awesome. They buy so many T-shirts and really enjoy the show, you know, and they're not spoiled like the people in Indiana, you know. Not saying anything bad, but, you know, people in Indiana get to see this all the time.
Right.
And you come out here and we're like a novelty, and Steve Petrie put me up and covered some expenses for me to get out here and do this deal. And I honestly came out here for the money because they're running for 6,000 to win, and if I'm not winning, I'm not racing. So I came on out.
I know historically, you know, I've gone to the Eastern Storm 3 or 4 different times over the years, and you have always been, every year I've ever gone to the Eastern Storm swing, you've always been one of the favorites as far as when it comes to the fans. They love his style of racing, getting up on the cushion, bouncing off the fence. It's just crazy and wild, and the fans love it.
Yeah, and I'd have to agree with you, John, on that. I think the one USAC shirt I see the most of is Daron Clayton.
Yeah.
So it's got to, does that also give you that little bit of incentive? I mean, I know merchandise sales aren't a huge amount of money, but that's got to be a nice little boost when you come east.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, you know, I finally got my shirts printed. I was hoping I'd get done because, you know, there's so many people that love to buy shirts out here. It's pretty crazy, you know, back home. You know, they can wait to buy them or whatever they want to do, but out here, they're, you know, they got to have them now. So
yeah, they get one shot.
Definitely good on T-shirt sales.
I got a question, random question. you said you're going to Gettysburg. I'm a huge history buff. I'm actually a history teacher. Do you have any plans as to what you're going down there to see tomorrow, or do you need some tips?
Yeah, he's a Gettysburg specialist.
I love Gettysburg.
I was kind of interested in the ghost tour.
Yeah, that's actually, I've heard that's a lot of fun, to be honest with you.
That's right up your alley.
Yeah,
That's in the wheelhouse right there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Did you see the new show that's on Finger Lakes One?
No.
Lately with Beth Lynch?
They got a ghost show?
The young lady that I told you came and did readings with my family and stuff. Yeah. She now has a show on the station.
Neat. So we got ghost tours. So one thing I will suggest to you, if you like the history side of it too, go to the visitor center. It's a great time. I don't know if you've been there before, but it's a great time.
No, I've drove. When we go racing, we go all over the country, and we go right by all these awesome places to see. And it's like I've drove by Gettysburg 3 times, and I want to go there so bad because I'm a big history buff too. And
nice.
It's like if it's not between the hotel and the racetrack, we don't see it.
Right.
I've been all over the country, from California to Florida to New York, and you hardly ever get to see anything. So, we'll take these rain out days and actually get to catch up a little bit, maybe.
Nice.
Are you disappointed sitting around tonight? I mean, I know it's probably got us think. Being all geared up, you come off the big win, and now Mother Nature just sucks.
And tonight you would have gotten to another new track too, because they've never run there before.
Yep.
Right. It's bittersweet because we're rained out, but it is one more night I get to be on cloud 9.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
I can kind of enjoy my victory a little bit here and soak it up.
That's cool.
That's nice to be racing tonight.
It's good attitude.
What's it mean? I mean, you look at the lap leaders here. You could really tell how you guys were slicing and dicing there at the end. You led from lap 3 to lap 26, and then Levi Jones had the lead. Then you got him back. I mean, you're racing with big dollar, big money teams. On that tour. How awesome is it? Of a feeling for you to come out and kind of be the underdog and get a win like that.
It's great. I don't have the budget that they've got, but I spend the money. I spend the money where it counts. And I've been doing it on my own for years now, and I know how to stretch a dollar and where I need to invest it. And I'm low buck, but my car is top notch, and I just do everything I can to keep it that way. And I don't have a lot of spares or whatnot, but what I do run on the racetrack, it's good stuff. I'm not trying to sound like I'm don't have the equipment. I don't have the spare parts or the extra stuff or tire racks and 10 wheels or this and that. But my car, when it hits the track, it's 100% good to go.
Well, I imagine for you also it had to be especially satisfying, just the fact that you had to beat Levi to do it. Because everybody knows it follows USAC. The Eastern Storm, Levi over the years has had a lock on that swing, and to have him one of the guys that was battling for the lead with you along with Clausen, that had to be probably especially satisfying just to beat him.
Yeah, anytime you race those guys, they're a class act. They know how to get around a racetrack, and they've got great equipment too. And anytime you can prevail on that deal, especially when you plan on running 30 laps, you run 40. I saw 31 laps on the board, and I'm like, man, they should be throwing the checker flag pretty soon, I think. Racing those guys, it's a good time. I would much rather race guys like that for the lead than somebody I don't know.
Yeah.
Just for the fact that they're professional drivers, and we can put on a good show. Like me and Levi raced side by side for how many laps?
Yeah.
Through that race, and we never banged wheels or anything. We both had respect for each other, and puts on a good show for the fans that way too.
Yep. I know. I watched the highlights this morning from Silverman's video there, and it looked like a wild race. The finish was cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna have
Clausen tried to stick it in the middle, make it 3 wide there near the end, and
that's cool.
It looked like a good finish.
Yeah, I was worried about Levi, and then all of a sudden here comes Clausen. 2 to go. I finally saw his nose, going into 3 there, and I was like, oh my God, I got 2 of them after me now. So what am I going to do? I just dug a little bit deeper and got a little bit closer to that wall.
Now you mentioned, you're kind of running a limited schedule. There we go. Once you leave the East Coast, what's your schedule look like from there? Is there, specific shows that you're going to run, or is it just going to be when the finances are available, you're going to go to some of the shows?
Yeah, I'll run as much as I can. Usually, if it pays $2,500 or more, I'll definitely try to race. I can't afford to run local shows just for the fact that, you know, it only pays enough money to basically cover your expenses if you have a good night, you know. So we're just kind of race to race right now and see what happens. You know, definitely, you know, the $6,000 was nice. You know, I can pay my bills and start a new tab now. So we'll keep on trucking as long as we can.
Well, now that the new show on MAV TV that Sean Buckley's doing from Jack Slasher, the Flip the Switch, those KISS shows, what do they generally pay?
I believe KISS are $2,500.
Are they?
I think so.
Yeah, I wondered that because I've been watching.
CS races that pay $5,000 and $10,000 to win.
Yeah.
The last KISS race I won at Hopside, it was $2,500. So
yeah,
I think that's about what they normally pay.
Because I've been watching that show and I wondered what those races, because I know it's a series in Indiana and I wondered what they paid. I didn't know.
Yeah, I wish they would get it on DirecTV soon. I've got satellite, but I can't get a station on it, you know?
Actually, they announced last week an announcement by DirecTV that they made a deal with MAV TV. It is coming like very soon, like any day now. So you should be able to get it soon.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. It's a good show. I like it.
I got to check it out. I haven't seen it yet.
It was on again today. The round 4 was on today.
Yeah. Darren, couple more things for you, then we'll let you get back to having a good time and enjoying your dinner and adult beverages. I'm jealous of you, I got to tell you.
Me too.
Is there a place where people can get a hold of you, say on the internet, or you got a website, Facebook, if they're looking to help you out, or what do you got out there?
Yeah, in my Facebook, you can just search my name on there and send me a message if you want to help out or know somebody that might be interested, you know, in doing a sponsorship deal, or, you know, if you just want to say hi, whatever works.
And I know, Darren, when I helped you out there at Knoxville that one time, I got a question. Do you still have that wing from Knoxville?
I think I've got the sideboard. I think I had to sell the other one, though.
Dang. Do you have the one that has the Dirt Track Digest logo on it? Because I'd be willing to buy that sideboard off you.
I think I've got it. I have to make sure, but I'm pretty sure I do.
All right, I'll get in touch with you on Facebook because I'm interested in buying that and having you ship it to me. Just because I've become a wing connoisseur since then, so I have a
wing connoisseur.
You like that?
Connoisseur.
I have a whole ton
You're
of them now.
Connoisseur of wings.
Do you like ranch with your wings?
Yes. But I'll get a hold of you on Facebook and see if that's the one you got. If you're willing to part with it, I'd like to have it.
Yeah, if I've got it, you're more than welcome to it.
All right, that's what I like to hear. That's awesome.
I do have one last question before we let him go.
Go ahead,
Darren. Where does your nickname? Well, everybody knows you as the modern day cowboy. Where does that come from?
I actually think Sean Buckley came up with that. I believe people just started calling me a cowboy and then the modern day cowboy, and I think they call me a modern day cowboy because Tony Jones is the cowboy.
Yep.
And that was Bubby Jones' son.
Right.
And, he was helping me on the race car at that point in time and teaching me how to tune these things in. And I was a modern-day cowboy, and that kind of stuck. So better than my other nicknames.
Nice.
Yeah, it could be a lot worse, right?
Yeah, it could be way worse.
Well, hey, Darren, man, thanks a lot. We appreciate you coming on. And, again, congratulations on the win last night. And good luck this weekend out at Port Royal and Susquehanna.
Okay, man. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Yep.
You got it, man.
Have a good one.
Good luck this week.
See you guys. Thanks.
So, very cool.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah, I like the different, the different
Love
guys.
the non-wing stuff.
I'm excited now. He might have that wing. That made my night.
Every time I've seen him race quite a few times between. I
think that Red Bull made your night.
Yeah, it did. Woo, woo, woo.
Between the USAC stuff and he's run the Chili Bowl several times, and he's always just. He's one you want to keep your eyes on because something exciting is usually going to happen.
Right,
Whether it's good or it's bad, something exciting will happen.
Because he drives on the edge of the seat.
All the time. A few years ago, during the Eastern Storm, the Grandview race, he took a big-time shitter. It was either in time trials or hot laps. I forget, but he just wadded the car right up. It was ugly.
Yeah.
So he's always just...
You know what though? In those cars, if you want to be good, you got to be willing to do that because that's how you're good in those cars.
Because the difference. We all know who follow the sport heavily.
Those cars can't be disposable.
They're when you're on a wing, when you got the wing, you're planted to the ground. And those cars, you don't have that luxury, and you do have to run it on that fine line all the time.
It doesn't strike me that the technology has changed so much in the car. So if you've got an old chassis laying around, it's probably going to be just as compatible with what you've got now, given bolt-on components and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, those cars.
I can't imagine those cars are just disposable. They got to be about the same.
Yeah,
as
but
what
here's the
outlaw
thing: the
chassis
difference
is.
between a modified chassis and say a sprint car chassis, there's several $1,000s. I mean, sprint car chassis are built to give when you wreck them, simply because that's how.
Well, yeah,
they
they
keeps the
have
driver
to.
right.
I mean,
And
you
that's how
have
it
to.
keeps the driver safe. They're meant to bend. They're meant to have those things happen, and that's what I mean.
They're prepared to go over because they do go over,
right?
very
And
easily.
especially a non-wing car.
Yeah.
I mean, there's those cars, sadly, get upside down, and when you see guys
Often.
get injured and
that's what scares
and
people about it.
fatalities,
Yeah.
a lot of times
A
it's
lot of back and
non-wing.
neck injuries and those
and
things
non-wing
because
stuff.
people are
Yep.
nervous about you don't have that cushion of a wing over your head when
Right.
you
That,
land
I mean,
on your head.
I've seen guys, I go to Oskaloosa every year for USAC. They have a show there, and I've seen a guy start flipping. It's a half mile. The guy starts flipping off a 2, and he flips all the way until he hits the fence in turn 3. I mean, that's...
In a non-wing car, when you crash hard. There's no such thing as an easy crash.
No.
In those cars. And that's what keeps a lot of people out of the non-wing stuff.
Yeah.
But the ones that do it, man.
But is it the same?
Love the thrill.
Is the chassis pretty much the same as like
the chassis is almost identical to what you would run with a wing car.
Yeah,
the difference
there are guys that will go back and forth with the same car. Like Brady Bacon will take the wing off sometimes with his car.
Brett
He
Marks
uses his car.
from PA, the guy we've had on the show before, he ran the non-wing stuff. Mark Smith runs non-wing stuff.
Yep.
The major difference is the driving gear in the front of the car.
Yep.
I think it's what they run a solid axle, right? A solid front axle.
Some suspension components.
Yeah, the suspension's
but
different.
It is bolt-on stuff. It's
all bolt-on stuff. And again, I don't quote me on that, but I think it's axles.
You'll see a lot of cars when they got the wing
off.
That
makes sense. Yeah, because you're gonna have bigger tire circumferences.
Oh, the rear end is huge on a non-wing car as compared to a wing car.
Yeah. And you'll see a lot of those guys who do go back and forth. You'll see when they have the wing off, you'll see on the top of the roll cage there'll be a bracket where the wing would
you'll see
bolt
the little
to.
post.
So you can tell that it was built as a wing car as well.
Yeah, because the guys the non-wing lifers,
they don't have that.
no wing brackets,
right,
nothing on the top of the cage.
But there are guys that go back and forth, and you'll tell.
What's the sprint car chassis go for? Do you know?
I'm thinking a couple grand, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah, I don't.
That seems it plays in line with what we've always talked about with how you could run a really good 360 sprint car for the same thing as a sportsman budget.
Right.
That plays in line that it would only be a couple grand because that money's going to go a lot farther towards getting you get a chassis and then you can take the residual revenue that you would spend on a chassis.
Right. I'm looking right now at a bare frame, Maxim chassis, new body, dash floor, front, side bumpers, powder coated everything. Motor plate $3,500.
That's not bad at all.
No, it's not like a modified, which is
a
lot more. But a modified has a lot more into it, like in terms of
that. And I think the life expectancy is a lot more too
of a modified. Oh yeah, of course, because the sprint car, it's eventually going to get bent or flipped. It's just how it is. It doesn't matter who you are. That's what's going to happen.
You can take a modified. And some of these guys will run them 4, 5, 6, 7 years, depending on.
And then they'll get sold off as a sportsman car.
You're right, depending on who owns it and their budgets and things like that. Whereas a sprint car, they're disposable cars.
I mean, there are people that will sell frames that are used, but they always say never bent. Like that's always one of the things that that's a prerequisite.
That's a prerequisite with any race car that you sell.
Right.
Yeah.
You see all the posters in the bathroom in the infield center there at Super Dirt Week, and all those chassis always say never bent.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So. What do you think? I mean, let's get to some topics here. What
do you want to talk about today?
I don't know. I got
about the Chicago Blackhawks.
Did you guys talk about Tyler
that?
Dipple? The whole Dipple issue last week. Did you guys talk about that?
No.
The issue with the timing chain and so on and so forth. That's something I've been reading a lot about on obviously the Dirt Track Digest forum, and it's on page 27 now, which I don't even know how it got that far. But talked about
it's not even a freaking topic.
Yeah, I know. But talking about what should happen, what should the punishment be if you're found with it's an illegal timing chain. Now, according to the tech, it is not something that enhances your speed. Right? Is that what it said, or doesn't make it?
There was no performance enhancement. According to Jack Boyd, who
why do you even have a time? My question is
non-stock timing chain on it.
Well, it defined.
I don't know.
But the fact is, the motor had been tampered.
Had been opened.
Had opened up and taken.
That's
apart
true.
And tampered with, and that's where the rule infraction is.
Right. That's where the rule infraction is.
You can't do that. Even if there is no performance enhancement, according to the engine builder, Jack Boyd, you still can't take it apart.
Yeah, you can't open the engine. That's the end of the discussion.
That's the point of the whole race.
So what's
defeats everything that you did.
You know, now he got a fine. Was it $2,500? Had to start last. What do you think should have been done?
To be honest with you, like I said,
you probably don't care.
I don't. Honestly, I really don't care.
But what's in the best interest?
I don't even think there's an argument here.
John,
he was found illegal, and that's life.
John,
move on. There's no discussion.
How can you be as spirited as you just were? You're so spirited saying that's the whole point of the rule and stuff like that. I don't. You got that wound up and you don't have an opinion about it.
I don't care. I don't.
Okay.
I don't care. He was found illegal. That's it. End of discussion. What's to discuss?
I don't know. I think it sets kind
of. I don't know.
A,
Apparently, there's 27 pages worth of people.
I think it kind of.
None of them are mine. I haven't made one comment. You know what? I haven't even read the thing.
You know what I think?
I read the Jack Boyd article. I didn't read the DTD.
There's
thing.
a new. To me, it sets a different precedent now. In the past, when you've seen guys get caught tampering with the motor, period, any way, shape, or form, they're out for the year. This kind of changes that precedent. And is that a good precedent to be setting, or no?
No.
And why?
No, because John, while he says that he doesn't care, he actually hit on a very good point. It completely undermines the whole purpose of the class. It completely undermines the whole purpose of it. You're not supposed to be opening the engine.
Yeah.
It's honor system. You're not supposed to be opening.
So do you think? But my question is,
you want to know what the penalty should be,
right? What do you think?
And again, I haven't read the thread. I only read Jack Boyd's article.
Okay.
What he found when he tore the engine apart.
Right.
So that's all I know. I haven't read the Dirt Track Digest thread again because I don't care. I have no interest. But now that you brought it up and you want to ask the question, tell me what is the penalty that he got? What was it?
He basically
was fined $2,500.
Yeah, because he had to forfeit his $2,000 winnings, so he had to give that back.
Because he won
$500 more on top of that. And then he had to start at the tail of the field for 3 weeks, I think, or 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
Okay.
Whatever it was.
Which if his engine,
so there was no suspension.
Which if his engine's all cheated up, he should be able to make that money back.
Yeah. Well, they took the engine too.
The engine's gone. They can no longer. They can never use it again
at a dirt sanctioned facility.
Never,
cannot be run.
Yeah. No, it's done.
It is illegal from here on out because all the parts in it, I guess, are numbered or whatever. I don't know enough about
it.
It's
sequenced. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what it came from.
Right.
It's got a. So
you're basically asking, do you think that the penalty was?
So what should happen to him? Is that sufficient? Does that deviate from? I mean, it was Mike. Mike, what was his name? Canandaigua.
Oh,
they got tossed out for a long time.
Right.
For messing with an engine.
I mean, we've seen guys go for a
deal.
year, and
you don't see typically guys get booted just for tampering with an engine or being illegal, whether it's underweight or whatever the infraction is.
I think that is different to me. Being underweight.
I mean, obviously, this is a much major infraction because you're tampering with an engine.
Right,
it isn't supposed to be touched.
messing with the shocks, things like that. That to me is different. Once you start touching the engine components,
when you're not supposed to,
right. That changes
the
everything.
whole premise of the engine is to keep it sealed.
So I mean, we're in an era now where we just penalize people by points, taking away points and money. That's the era we live in. So I guess it's on par with that.
Doesn't have to be.
Okay, and I'm not saying it's the correct way, but it's the way. That's what the era we live in now.
I think a lot of people on
the
live chat,
the back 3 times. I don't know. I don't even see the point.
It's irrelevant. I mean, that's handicap.
He's still racing.
He won anyway. He was going to have to eventually. If he kept winning, he was going to have to go back.
Yeah. So
a lot of people in the live chat are saying that he should have been done with the class at least for a year. And
I don't know about that. Maybe sitting him out for a week, maybe.
A week?
I don't know.
I don't know about a year.
But here's the thing.
It takes him out of point contention.
It doesn't.
But here's
sit him out a week.
Here's my thing with it. If you don't have a real penalty, and I don't care who it is. To me, it doesn't matter who it is.
Is there even a written rule for penalties? What is the written penalty?
It said something about 1 year.
Now, if that's a written rule, then I have to argue that should have been.
You know what? Let's do this. Let me see if Lebanon Valley's rule book is online.
Yeah, I don't know what their rules are.
I will bring the rule book up. I know it says cheating will not be tolerated.
If that is a real rule that it's written, then
cheating
it should
will not
happened.
be tolerated. There's strike 2.
Right.
If you're really going to take a hard
rules
stance
and forms, budget sportsman. I'm loading up the PDF.
He was at Rolling Wheels last night. How about that?
Yeah, he finished.
Top 5. I think he was 5th.
I tried to watch a little bit as I could, working the gate. And last I saw him, he looked like he was about 15th. And then I saw the results this morning. He finished 5th. I don't know how the hell that happened.
Well, obviously.
Well, I know there was a big wreck on lap 25. So I know a lot of them just got caught up in the wreck. So he must have moved up quite a bit because of that. Because he was nowhere near the front when I saw him.
Nobody checked the other engine.
Well, here's the thing. They go by dirt rules. Okay. Here's the first
strike 3.
Listen. Here's the first thing it says. This class cannot be compromised. Cheating will not be tolerated, and cheaters will be eliminated from both dirt and asphalt tracks for at least an entire season.
There's 1, 2, and 3 in the first line of the
and that's just
goddamn
labeled
book.
as cheating. It doesn't label,
It doesn't
okay,
say
if you
what
tamper
for-
with an engine, open
Right.
it up,
Doesn't
whatever.
say anything, yeah.
It just says cheating.
Cheating.
So cheating could be anything.
Cheating
Wrong tire.
Cheating could be illegal fuel, wrong tire,
Yeah. I mean,
illegal
that's
chips.
not even
illegal
clarified.
chips.
but I mean that's what their rule is. You know, I can't
Right.
I can't give you any more than that. I mean, it says go to the dirt rules because it says all 2013 dirt rules will apply for the budget sportsman. So what
is everybody's argument that he didn't get stiff enough
that
penalties?
seems to be I think that seems to be the
consensus.
Right.
He didn't get a stiff enough penalty.
Right, and I think the issue is that by creating this non-penalty,
You open up a can of worms.
because now,
Yeah.
well, what's to stop me from cheating? If I'm only going
Right.
to lose the winnings, pay a $100 fine, start at the back, why would I not cheat?
Yeah, I
'Cause
mean,
what about the 5 races I
he's
win
not-
where I
he-
don't
he-
get caught?
He's not gaining anything, and nobody will be gaining anything by cheating. Obviously, if they're going to take the money away and find you another $500 compared to what you won,
Right.
and then start you in the back, so you're not gaining. You're certainly losing.
No,
out.
but still, but
how much of a precedent are you really setting?
right, and that's the question. I mean, that's the debate I like to have is because
either way, he's still going to be checked.
Right.
Even if he says, you know what, I'm still going to cheat, he's going to be checked again.
Right.
You're not gonna gain
there's no
nothing,
doubt. Right.
you
I know that. I understand that.
And
He's
they're going to
be
watch
checked.
him even closer.
And for the record, I'm not taking anything away from the kid's talent because I believe the kid has talent. He's been successful where he's run.
Yeah. See, I haven't seen him racing.
So I'm not.
I really don't know anything.
I'm not
about
saying
him,
that
other than all this.
This
is
right.
the only thing I know about.
Right, and that is not in the discussion. We're not discussing talent
Right.
or all that. We're
Right.
talking penalties and where
was it proper?
And that's that's the debate. And
Did
I
it fit the crime?
I like the different things that people are saying here. Some people are agreeing with. My thing is, if you don't police it, where does it end? How far will guys now go?
Right.
Because a timing chain. In this case, he didn't have anything that was to his advantage.
I mean, the only thing
I can't tell you,
and I'm only going to believe that because that's what the engine builder says.
Right.
The engine builder says that they had tear it down and inspect it.
Right.
And it wasn't even. I don't even think Jack Boyd actually built the engine.
Right.
They just had him tear it down.
Right, exactly.
As the inspector.
Right.
And his article, his quotes were it would have given him no performance enhancement. Which I don't even understand why they would risk all that if it's not going to give you a performance thing. It doesn't make any sense.
But the only thing that the problem is
they may feel that the timing chain on the crate engine was weak or something like that, and they just put that in so that it
but
didn't
the problem
break.
is, I believe you have to break the seal on the motor, to put that part on,
right?
And
that was the issue.
That's the no-no.
Issue. Yeah,
that's the no-no.
You're not supposed to take it apart.
Right.
That's the whole point of the class.
Right. They stay together.
They're supposed to be sealed,
and which we all have seen. I mean, you follow the stuff that went on in Fulton last year.
Yeah.
How many of those motors went to the dyno?
Well, if you listen to all the fans and the people that we all know in racing,
right?
Every car is illegal out there, especially when it comes to this new Sportsman sealed motor deal. These last few years, every car is illegal. Every single one of them. Just ask the fans; they'll tell you they're all illegal.
Yeah, everybody in the ground said that car's illegal.
Yeah,
that guy wins every week.
Illegal. Yep,
that guy wins every week. He must be cheating.
Every single one of them.
Yeah, but no, I kind of agree that. I mean, there's a lot of people saying here, you break the rules, regardless if it's this much of an infraction or that much of an infraction. A broken rule is a broken rule.
Your live chat working?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, why is yours not? My live screen just reset.
Last thing I saw said I wrote doesn't sound like, and I haven't seen anything since.
Yeah, the seal was broken, then therefore he should be set for the year. That's what Ken said.
Oh, Ken, I think I got under Ken's skin a little bit.
Oh yeah,
he gave me a really.
That's good. I like that. And then Leroy said, Canandaigua and Fulton, actually, they do something about it. And when you get caught cheating at those places, you're out.
Leroy's with us?
Yeah. Yep.
Dirt Track Digest, Leroy?
I believe so. Leroy 2.
We
must be must be Leroy 1 got locked out.
That's that little Leroy?
I don't know. Junior. No, I don't know. No, but
we had up around 35 at one point.
And that seems to be that seems to be the thing. Other tracks, when they find any violation of the rules, that's it. You're done. So...
Well, again, it depends on the nature of the violation, too.
I mean, I think...
if it's a wrong tire, you're not going to get kicked out for a season.
That's one thing.
Wrong fuel.
But again,
ultimately... But something like this is major because
the motor is... The reason for the division is the motors they're running.
That's something sacred. You do not touch...
Yeah, you want to get caught cheating everything else. That's one thing. You get caught softening your tires. And who doesn't do that? Even Scott Bloomquist does it.
That's what I don't even understand. And the whole point, if Jack Boyd says this was not anything that would give him a performance enhancement, then why in the hell would you risk that and take that
Well,
I don't
here's
get
what's
it.
funny. Dan just made an interesting quote.
What was their point of doing this? There had to be something.
Our buddy Dan from Woodhall, he
Yep.
just made a quote or made a statement. He said, "Timing chain would do nothing other than to keep their eyes from somewhere else."
Well,
Right.
I heard, but I don't. I take this with a grain of salt with some of the people I hear from.
Make something obvious.
There was a titanium drive shaft.
Some other
but the
things.
drive shaft is painted white, but it was titanium.
Right, there could have been other issues.
But it's painted white, so you can't necessarily tell by looking at it because it's painted white.
But again, that's all hearsay.
But it was titanium,
Again,
and I don't know. None of that was in the Jack Boyd article. So.
The drive shaft?
We all hear different things.
Yeah.
We all hear various.
Yeah, it was titanium, but the drive shafts are painted white, so you can't tell.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we all hear various. There's all
that's
those.
the thing.
That's all the.
I take it with a grain of salt. Because
I take all that with a grain of salt.
Who knows?
That none of that comes from an official source. I don't believe it.
I only read what Jack.
Only
Boyd
what
wrote.
read what.
I'll believe
yeah.
what Jack Boyd said because he's the one who tore the engine apart.
Yep. So
I'm so mad that this live chat quick. So dyed it over
see,
inside out.
mine's working too. And Dan said Woodhall this year said if you get caught with cheating up a motor at Woodhall, you're out forever.
Really?
Yeah,
Don't
I thought that's what the stance was.
And I know, you know what's funny?
Mike was it. I can't remember thinking that guy's name.
That's a strong stance.
Mike. I don't want to put his name out there.
No,
if
then
not
it's
right.
wrong, right?
Yeah, I don't want to do
I
that.
did
but I'm
talk-
pretty sure that dude ended up having to serve.
What was
Basically, was a life sentence.
Yeah,
he was
what was
out.
Ted, I
out
talked
of
to
the
Ted
division.
White, who owns Woodhall, the owner of Woodhall, on Saturday night, and he said since they've gone to the hardcore rules enforcement of their crate class, they've grown and grown and grown. The car counts keep going up, and they had over 25, 26.
Well, we talked about that before in any division. If you trailer one cheater, you're gaining 2 cars next time around.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's...
But I think by enforcing the rules hard on everybody, you gain more cars. You gain more respect.
Well,
in
you
the
gain
long run.
respect first, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's the important thing. You look at the tracks that have good tech, they have good quality car counts.
Yep.
And that's because
people go there, the racers go there feeling like they're
they
on
have
a level
a fair
playing field,
shot.
and
Everybody's
not
treated
getting
the same. And everybody's treated the same.
Because believe it or not, and I know there will always be cheating going on in motorsports. There always has been and always will be.
Right.
But I also know there really are honest people out there. There are honest racers out there that play by the rules.
Right. Those are the guys that are
whatever
out there.
the game is.
They're
Not
out there running
not even in
11s and
motorsports,
12s.
but
Right, exactly.
just in general.
Those are the guys that
there's
you.
people that are
those are the
honest.
guys that you couldn't spell their last names. You had to.
Right, and you didn't put them on your fantasy team.
Oh
No.
But that's been the hot topic, you know. And I think we're all
Those are
kind
the
of.
drivers.
I don't know. Half of my team is either lost its rides or out hurt or leaving the tracks because they got freaking in trouble. And
Yeah,
my
you're having
my
a
whole
bad.
team is a freaking
You're like
disaster.
the curse this year.
Jesus,
Your team is
Mario.
cursed.
You don't know where the hell he's going. Danny's out of a ride, and Pat's in surgery, and Jesus Christ, my team stinks.
That's awesome.
No,
I
it's
love
not.
It.
I hate it.
I love it. My team's
I
terrible
go into
too.
that. I go into my league. I plan on winning it,
Yeah, well, you're not.
and I've never won
The
it yet.
31st lap team's actually doing pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah, it
it's
is.
in the top
It
20.
beat me.
Yeah, yeah. So good for the 31st lap team.
Wow. Wow,
So
John.
that
Wow.
has been the hot topic for me.
Long way to go, though.
I mean, there's been some other stuff on here, but I think that's been the hottest topic of discussion here the last few weeks.
it's near the top of the thread list every day. And
Every
like
day.
I said, I haven't clicked on it once, not once, because
can't
I
believe
just
it.
had zero
Way
interest.
to resist it, John.
I can't
Good
believe.
job.
See, you know what's funny is
I got
didn't-
no interest. I don't even know who the kid is.
I've met him once. I talked to him, but
I know more about him now only because of the whole cheating debacle. I didn't even know who he was.
A debacle. It's a big word for you.
I know he had to look it up in the dictionary before he said it.
Hey,
He's over there on his phone.
I bet
Google.
you-
Yeah.
I bet
Google big problem.
I bet you can't even spell it.
You know? Oh, you want to hear something funny? Shane Andrews. I'll give Shane Andrews the credit for this. Last night, when Danny Johnson got the ride, he goes, "Must be Danny Johnson's got an iPhone." I go, "Why is that?" Because he said, "Siri, I need a ride." You know what that is, John? Probably not.
Yeah.
He's got no idea.
Yeah,
I don't have an iPhone, but I know. No, the name of the voice in there, the person you're talking to, is Siri.
I have a phone.
Right?
That's,
the name
that's
of the.
all I know.
Isn't that right? The name of the.
That is correct, yes.
The name
Siri.
of the voice that talks
I
to you
have
on
a
your
phone
iPhone
and there's
is
no
Siri.
eyes in it.
Siri, find me a ride.
Yeah. So I thought that was. I give Shane credit. That was pretty fun.
I
4 rides are available.
I had to break Shane's balls last night when he come in through the pit gate with his car because he drove in.
It'd be funny if Danny Johnson's Siri, I need a ride, and it came up Mike Payne.
Have you seen his license plate on his car on his ride?
New York Voice 1.
No,
What is it?
it's Voice 13.
Oh, Voice 13.
So I had to break his balls. I said, "What the hell's up with this plate and your number?" I go, "Why isn't it number 12? That should be number 12."
Oh yeah, Jumping Jack.
Yeah. So I had to break his balls.
Yeah, I thought it was New York Voice 1.
No, maybe it was at one time.
It might have been.
Right now it says Voice 13.
It's not Mike Paz, is it?
No.
Now that I just gave his license.
Okay,
plate out,
we brought up the.
I didn't think of that till now.
We brought up the Payne ride. We've talked a little bit about that. Dave Marchicelli is the name that keeps coming up that may or may not have the ride after last night. We don't know because I talked to Mike Payne.
Because even Mike,
he doesn't know yet. He's not sure. Everything that happened quick, and it was a matter of okay.
When they're ready, they'll announce it.
Right, and that's what he said. Now, if you were Mike Payne, and you had the opportunity to put a guy in the car, who would you put in the car?
A lot of people already know my view on this.
No, let's hear it. I mean, not these people out here.
Jack Johnson. Wait, no.
No, guys that can race.
Dude, that's not even funny.
Okay, go on then. Come on, Dr.
He'll
Serious.
cry.
Let's go.
That's not funny.
Come on.
I've been pretty well outspoken. If I had any
your
influence,
money,
if I had any influence on Mike Payne, what I would suggest would be putting a young talent in the car. Take 4 or 5 young talents that you might be interested in that have started to make a name for themselves, and give them a shot. Take the rest of this year as a test session. Try them out, a few different guys.
So how about a couple of those names?
In a handful of races, and then see how things are at the end of the year. See if one of those maybe might pan out and turn something into building your team for the next year.
Okay, give me your top 3 choices.
Top 3.
Yeah.
Jeremy Wilder would be my first
Homer
choice,
pick?
and I think most people already
Knew
know
that. That's a 4-plane guy. So
There's that Ryan. I always screw up
Susie.
his name. Sussis, whatever his name.
Say it.
Ryan Susie.
I mean, he seems to have done fairly well recently. Chris Rabe is another one.
Chris Rabby.
Whatever. Rocky Warner. I would certainly have to look at. Rocky's started to make a name for himself.
So
here
that's
recently.
your 3.
So those are a few guys I would look at.
All right,
I mean, there's other ones out there though.
You got anybody, Chris?
Yeah. Probably 3 come to mind right off the top.
Okay, who do you got?
Chad Phelps.
Okay.
Billy Dunn.
Okay. He's got his dad's stuff. That wouldn't that would be an interesting deal how that would work, but possible.
Rob Bellinger.
Robbie Bellinger, another guy running his own family stuff. Okay. I'm gonna change it up a little bit.
What are you gonna throw another 60-year-old guy in there?
No. Nope.
Yeah, you jerk.
I got the best one, Mike Mahaney.
That's a good one.
That's
a good one.
He's proven that he can win the big race with.
I mean, last year
family-owned stuff. He's a guy that worked
last
on
year
his
was
own
a career year.
Yeah,
yeah,
and that to me was the first name that kind of came to my mind. Just because he runs 3 different deals. I mean, he's got
a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, no solid ride for Saturday nights.
Even Ryan Godown, if you wanted to go that far.
Yeah, if you want to go series racing, Ryan Godown wouldn't be a bad.
I mean, obviously he's in a different region, so it would take a lot of work to get that done. But he's somebody I would if I'm Mike Payne, it's somebody I would certainly have to think about calling. Maybe
right.
Mike Payne's.
He's
smart. He's a smart guy.
Yeah.
But he's gonna make the right decision. But I think he's gonna go with a guy that's already proven their worth. So, I mean, like I wouldn't surprise me if Dale Plank ended up in that car.
I mean, that wouldn't be. I mean,
it's not a bad choice either.
No, it's not.
The problem is, we were talking about. I think it was you and I.
Of a young guy, just
or was it,
so you have something to build on for the future.
Was it me and you that were talking about this?
That could go a long ways.
I mean, and that's the thing right now. Like you look at the guys that are established, and the younger generation guys all have pretty much their deals settled. I mean, Stewie's got 2 or 3 different rides.
He's got a lot of stuff going on.
He's got his. I mean, Matt
You're
Shepard.
Not pulling away from his own deal.
But what I'm saying, just young guys. You're not pulling Shepard out.
Shepard's not coming out.
No,
of his
he's
deal.
not leaving that deal. No. So the only young guy that's really like kind of a free agent kind of thing would be Mahaney to me.
Well, that's why I was looking at people that were running their own equipment. I mean, why wouldn't you have take an opportunity to run in a rented car? I mean, Justin Harris would be another guy. I don't foresee him ever leaving that family group, but he's a guy that could definitely do something as a hired gun.
Nah.
And they're having an interesting thing. Why is it got to be a young guy? Why not win now?
I mean,
that's been the big argument on Dirt Track Digest. Everybody wants to put the recycled veterans. I'm going to steal a quote from Nathan Voss on Dirt Track Digest, and I know this one pisses Kimmy off, and I don't care.
Don't worry, she's not listening.
It's enough of the recycled freaking 60-year-old guys. Enough. We've seen them too much. It's over. It's over, Johnny. It's time to come out with some new blood.
You watch. Now Alan Johnson's going to end up in that car.
We need some new blood.
That'd be funny.
seriously, we
What
need
about,
some new blood.
where do you factor Plank in? Is he the old guard or the new guard? Where do you put him? I mean, he's not in the 60s.
No, he's not. He's not.
He's in that
obviously
middle
been around
group.
as long as Brett.
He's that middle
Danny,
flux.
Allen. Billy's been around a while now.
I'd put him in
Payne.
that same group with.
He's in the middle. He's kind of in the
Bobby
middle
Barron.
of. Yeah, he's in with
Jeff.
Barron. He's in the middle of Stewie Shepard,
Rick Laubach,
and Alan Danny Brett. He's in the middle of that.
Right.
There's some
Matt
other
Shepard's
drivers in
not
the
Stu.
middle. Yeah. Yes, it was
He said
Matt.
Stu.
Huh?
Stu's Matt's dad.
I mean, you
Stewie.
could hire Matt.
He said
Stewie and Shepard.
Oh, Stewie.
Stewie
My
and
bad.
Shepard.
My bad. I thought you said Stu. They
No,
want.
he falls in between.
Now
them.
here's one. Ryan Phelps is another guy. I mean, he's kind of got. That's a family deal.
Yep.
Ryan
Phelps would be a good
yeah.
one.
And he's proven he can win a big race.
Here's one for you, Ballmaster. Kind of
he's
busting
done
your
it.
stones.
I don't care.
Kyle Larson.
What the hell? If he was in the neighborhood, I'd be calling him up.
Yeah, I know. I would too.
Why not?
Well, yeah,
why the hell
Why
wouldn't
why
you?
would you not?
Because
What
you're in
do
a position now, you don't have a full-time driver. If you
Right.
need a guy on a one-off,
Right.
there's the perfect guy for a
Yeah,
one-off.
Yep.
And he wants
What-
to run
what
one of
are
our
Tony
modifieds.
Stewart's doing?
Yeah, I mean,
Kyle told
gonna
us
be there
on
June
our
11th,
show
by
that he
Oh,
the way.
wants to run Super Dirt Week sometime.
yeah, I know.
So,
So, I mean, who
Call
else?
him up.
Who else? If you're looking for young talent, I mean,
you ever want to get your
Well, I mean,
a lot
are
of
you,
attention
are you
to
looking,
your team?
Are you looking at young talent in a modified, or are you looking at young talent in a sportsman looking to move up? I mean, that's
the other-
one of the
but
one of the dividing
I've
lines.
heard an interesting
I'm thinking
quote
guys
this
that have
week.
already run some modified
Right,
stuff.
I heard an interesting quote this week. Car owners like that, for the most part, I think I said it to you, or I don't remember if it was you or John Tiff. We were having a conversation, and they don't. I can't remember who I heard this from. It might have been George Smith from Dirt Track
I know
Digest.
they don't want to pay for their college.
They don't want to be the
education.
college education.
Don't give me that BS. Sell that crap somewhere else.
No, but I'm serious. Like, why, if you're a high dollar team and you're
I don't
used to
wanna
having
pay
a
for the
high dollar,
college
All those guys
education.
were young at one time. Somebody had to give them a helping
yeah, but
hand.
most
Yeah,
of
but
them
it wasn't-
started with their own deal and then worked their way into
Yeah,
a quality ride.
that was a way different
okay.
situation.
Well,
for
Jeremy
them. Way
Wyler, if you
different.
want to use that as an example, he has used his own stuff.
Okay.
And now he's proven himself
Why is
in
he
a
deserving?
modified.
But why
to
would
be
he be deserving of a Super Dirt Series ride? What
Why
has he
not?
done in his career to prove that he deserves that ride? That's what I'm not just asking. I want to hear what you're like. If you're his salesperson right now, give me the sales pitch.
He's run some Super Dirt Series stuff with the 358s. He's proven that he can go to different tracks and run well. Has he won a Super Dirt Series race, 358 Tour yet? No, he hasn't. But he's run some modified races. He's won a Fonda. He's won a Glenridge. He's been in the top 10 damn near every week at Malta against a great field of modifieds on Friday nights. Running his own stuff.
Right.
He's never had a top-notch car. He's doing his own family-owned deal. And
Ryan
he's done
Phelps.
fairly well with it, competing against the likes of Danny and Brett and Allen and
Right. No, there's some-
running the 358 Tour. So he's got experience of going to a lot of different tracks.
Okay. Ryan
You
Phelps.
don't know
Now-
what he's capable of given that kind of equipment. That's why I say give him a shot. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out.
Right.
You don't know until somebody tries.
In terms of selling drivers, you could sell Ryan Phelps
Ryan Phelps, you could sell.
big time.
yeah,
Mike Mahaney
yeah,
would
I
be
don't
an
have a
easy
problem
sell.
with that.
You know, some of these people are mentioning like Kevin Bates. I mean, he's
sure.
won down it.
Definitely.
He's run the series.
Yeah, he's shown some talent over
Right.
the years, different times. He's had some
How
good
old's
runs in
Dan
certain
Vaughter?
scenarios.
Dan Vaughter.
How old's
He's
Dan?
another. He's got to be around my age, maybe
I
a
don't
little
know.
younger
I've
than
never
me.
seen him, so I don't know.
Yeah.
He runs at Brewerton.
Yeah, I mean, I know the car. I
Of
don't
him,
know what he
right.
looks like.
Right. You know, and it's interesting. I mean, to me, if I'm one of these guys, I'm not.
If you want to see
putting-
the old guard, Chuck Bauer.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's not a bad pick if you're looking for.
Joe BA is looking for a ride.
Yeah, I mean, just the older guys.
If you like that older group, I mean, you could probably lure.
The only problem you get is with any of the young guys.
I'm blanking.
Other
the black
than-
and, the black and green car that we interviewed him at Victoria last year.
Black and green car at Victoria.
Jimmy Davis.
Oh,
Okay, yeah.
Now Jimmy Davis is somebody I would entertain.
Yeah, and he's in that middle group. He's in like the Varon age
He's
group.
not young, but
He's not-
He's not been around a long time.
Right. I mean,
And
these
he's
guys-
not been cycled through 50 times.
Right. You know, a lot
for
of the
the last
names
30
the
years
guys
either.
are bringing up here in the chat room, they're young guys, but they're Southern tier guys. They don't have that tour experience. You know that, and that's like Sean Walker.
But that's the
who's
thing.
got
Nobody's
talent,
ever going to have until somebody gives them a chance.
But it's not the same era as it was 20 years ago. There's not. It's hard to give that guy a chance.
That's why I think that you got somebody like Robbie Bellinger and
Or somebody
and
that
Billy
has-
Dunn that have that tour experience, that have done that already, that know it. Now they're going to get in something that's got a little bit. I don't know how to word it the right way. It's not their equipment, so they might run it a little harder, kind of thing.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
I know who Zupi wants.
Mahaney.
That's easy. No, Cody Blue. It's simple.
Who?
Cody Blue, the milkman. That's a cake one. I got that. He's trying to.
I keep looking up here, expecting to see some live
It's not
chat.
moving?
No, it's
That
not.
sucks.
Nah, it's done. I'm not even participating.
Yep. So But I just want to have the discussion. I thought that'd be an interesting topic. Who would you put in the car? You know, it's not my money, obviously. So, and I'm sure Mike will make the right choice. I mean, he's got a lot of factors. He obviously has things that are different to look at than we do. We're just sitting here hypothesizing over.
I would look at youth and the potential of what that could mean to your team.
Yeah, that's what I would go with the youth movement. I mean,
and we've seen it in all forms of motorsports.
Yeah.
I mean, look at NASCAR. It's all kids nowadays.
Yeah.
Coming through the ranks.
There's a couple of ways you can look at it. Like, you know,
they're very marketable if you get the right person.
When Stewart Friesen first got to the Madsen ride, he went big block racing, and it took some time.
It did. You got to be patient,
right? But look where he is now.
Exactly.
Look where he is now. You know, and that's
when he first went in the Madsen ride, and he went to Malta. He hit everything but the pace car.
Yeah,
it was a disaster. And I was there every Friday and saw it. It was a disaster.
Yeah.
Caitlin Kane's what happened when you're looking at marketability.
If you're looking to market, yeah, it depends on what your angle
Caitlin Kane and Jessica Power both.
Yeah. She had a bad night last night.
She had a
bad night. She got towed off. It was not a good night for Jessica Power.
She didn't. No. She was not.
I was bummed.
Yeah, she was not looking so happy after her heat race. Let alone.
Well, she made the feature and then it just went. Ooh.
She got caught up in that lap 25 deal.
Yeah. Well, which time? There was like 9 wrecks on lap 25.
I know. It might have been the second one.
So.
I saw her come in and pits all wired up.
I'm still looking up at the screen, expecting to see something different.
Ken says, "Put Mike Mount in the car." I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah,
that is the biggest mistake you can make, and I can tell you that if you ever see me race a go-kart.
I'll take the ride.
Yeah, right back into the trailer.
Give me a shot.
You know, I didn't do winners list this week or nothing. I feel kind of weird, but
we haven't done it in a month.
You know, so you want me to just not do it then? All right, I haven't been here. You guys just
Daron Clayton won the USAC race last
great.
night at Grandview.
Hey,
and Tim Buckwalter won the ARDC race there too.
All right.
I just got a text message wanting you to know why you're not retweeting Derby results.
Who asked that?
Brian.
Oh, jeez.
Brian Simple.
Yeah, he asked me that on Facebook the other night too.
Did he?
How come Mallet doesn't retweet Derby results? I started laughing
because
I said because he doesn't give a shit.
Let me answer this. Let me answer this on behalf of Mike because he only deals with legitimate motorsports.
There it is.
Oh yeah. By the way, when are you gonna give Brian his stuff?
It was in my car.
You freaking took off with it in your car. I heard.
Do you want me to finish?
No.
Okay.
Oh, Jimmy Blewett. I like that one.
Yeah, that would be a good one. Yeah. That'd be a fun one to watch. Just for the.
I wouldn't entertain him only because he doesn't have enough experience shown in a dirt car yet.
Right. Okay.
He's slowly getting there.
Right.
But
he's entertaining.
Now, if we were talking pavement, I'd certainly entertain him.
Yeah.
You know, but he doesn't have a lot of dirt experience.
All right, we're getting him, and we're running Evans Mills on Saturday night.
There you go. There you go.
But
I mean, there's tons of young kids out there that are showing, you know, making a name for themselves recently, and I mean, even Rocky. I mentioned Rocky. Rocky's not even a kid. I mean, he's in his 30s. So
right,
but he's just slowly.
30 sounds young to me.
He's just now starting to move into.
Used to be young to me, or old to me. Now it's that's young.
You know, he's just now starting to move into dabbling with modifieds and stuff. So, and he's proven everything he's gotten in, whether it be street stocks, pro stocks, sportsman. He's proven everything he gets in, he wins.
Ken's still not a fan of you.
I don't care.
You're an expert.
Ken needs to show his face sometime.
You guys
stop hiding behind a screen.
You know, we got to bring Ken here to the show so I can just sit here.
But he lives in Fort Plain.
Sit him right here.
No.
Half of Fort Plain was at Rolling Wheels last night.
He can sit in that chair, and you two. I'm just going to sit here. Chris will produce, and we'll just watch.
Oh, like I always do.
You know what we'll do? We'll put topics in a hat, and we'll pull names out, and you guys can just go at it.
We'll just give him the microphone, and we'll watch the show.
It'll be I will watch. I will watch you two scream at each other because it'll be fun for me.
Scream at each other.
But the thing is put a microphone in front of you, and you can't let anybody else talk anyway.
Who, me?
I don't.
Yeah. No, I let you guys talk.
I don't scream.
No.
Shut up.
When a spirited conversation starts, you tell me that you're not going to want to get right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
No, not
no way.
Not about me eating popcorn. Can't talk when you're eating popcorn. It gets caught in your throat.
You'll find a way.
That'll be what I'll be doing. I'll pop a bag of popcorn in the microwave, and I'll just sit here and munch on it.
Yeah, you'll pull a topic out that giant, shiny forehead of yours is going to stick right in the middle of it.
I should have put powder on today. I knew it.
I know. Where was the makeup staff tonight?
I don't know.
What was that?
He is slacking. All right, we've digressed to that point.
Yeah. So what other topics you got?
I hope Rich had a happy birthday.
It's 9 o'clock today. Almost.
Pay no attention. What do you got, a bedtime?
Yeah, I got to go home and finish my column.
Oh, my God.
I don't know who to lead with. Now, all right, here I'm going to put it to
Mike,
a vote.
Can you relate to this? I had to do a column for the Finger Lakes Times today. Mm-hmm. I had it just about completely written. I had like maybe 2 or 3 wrap-up graphs to go.
You spilled milk on it?
Power went off.
Oh.
Computer shuts off. Gone. Vaporized.
Dog
Completely
ate it.
gone.
Oh.
Gone. Reset.
I thought you were going to say the dog ate it.
Got to be in by midnight.
Oh, that sucks. Been there.
Yeah.
The other day I was at Utica, and Tiff was writing a release.
Yeah.
And the computer froze. He didn't save it. He lost all the results. He had 3/4 of the story done.
Yeah, right.
Like, that sucks. All right, here's the question. Okay, I'm gonna give these guys one. I'm gonna throw one more question out there.
Okay.
I've got a bunch of interviews in the can for. As I use Doug Elkins' term, in the can.
In the can?
That's what he uses.
You got them in your ass?
Yes. So I've got I've got all these interviews. You know, I talked to Stewie, Billy Dunn,
You guys, Billy
Dale
Dunn,
Plank,
about
Mike Payne. I'm going to put
Mike Payne.
that portion together. And then I also have Brian Swartzlander and Matt Shepard. Who do you want me to highlight, or who do you want me to lead with in this week's this column that's going to be out tonight?
Mike Payne.
The Mike Payne saga? Does that seem to be what everybody wants? I want to lead with...
I would have led with Swartzlander just because it's something different.
I like Swartzlander. Yeah,
it's a different
it's
topic.
Different,
everybody's talking about the other crap.
I got
Yeah,
Swartzlander.
but everybody's,
I got to vote for
everybody's
Plank.
sitting back in their armchairs giving their opinion of it. Nobody's going to Mike Payne and doing an interview.
I did.
I'm
That's what I'm
sure
saying
everybody did last night.
I find that.
Yeah, he got a few
I have a
people
feeling he
talking
was
to him.
swarmed all night.
And and I
I looked over there a couple times. There was a crowd every time I looked. At
yeah,
that,
I just
at that
asked.
car.
My whole thing was, when I went over to him, I know Mike. I've talked to him a bunch of times, and I didn't want to.
We've had him on the show before.
Yeah, and I said to him, I said, I know this is probably what you've been hearing all night long. I said, I just wondering, what's the. I know there's a split. I don't want to get into the, because obviously it's a personal thing between the two of them, and those guys they're friends, and they were friends, and I didn't. You don't want to be in the middle of that because that's never a good place to be.
No.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's the gossip side of it, and it's the what everybody wants. It's like the Entertainment Weekly version of race reporting. And I said, we know there's a split. Where do you go from here, though? Like, what is the next step? Where is it? And he said, honestly, we don't know. We're just
got to sort it out.
We've got to sort everything out and look at all of our options
sure
and see
resumes
what's
are
there.
flying into him too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm sure.
That phone has not stopped ringing. I guarantee that, because how many guys are looking for a ride and how many rides are there?
A little funny story. Last night, again, I was working the pit gate, so I was seeing all the drivers when they come in sign in. Well, Danny signed in and he walks through my gate, and he's heading towards his ride last night, and you should have seen him look over to the left because. The 7 car, 27J, whatever you want to call it, is over at the left. And he's looking, you should have seen him glaring over there the whole walk across the pits when he was headed to his car. He just glared. I'm like, wow, look at that. That's not good. There's some animosity going on there. I thought it was kind of funny.
It's just, it sucks, though. I mean,
all right.
They've been together 9 years.
It happens,
no, I know it happens, but you don't want to see that. I mean, I talked to them kind of when they were on that high after they won Eastern States, and it was, they were so close.
They won a championship together, didn't they?
Small block one.
Small block title.
Yeah. And they were so high after that win at Eastern States. And I know this happens with everybody.
We also know from talking to Mike last year on this show how bad he wants to win the Super Dirt Series title.
Right.
So now he started out the first race. He cannot win the Super Dirt Series title. It's impossible.
Well, no, it's not impossible.
Plank does not run
Nothing is impossible.
A home track. He doesn't get any bonus
That doesn't
points.
mean it can't change.
What can't change?
Who says he can't say, all right, I'm running Canandaigua? You only need
He's going to be so far behind, it isn't going to matter.
But
it's not going to happen.
No, because they only take your 12 best finishes. They don't take
it's your 12 best. He could be fine. You can still
12 best for your home track?
For your home track, I'm pretty sure
it's
that's correct.
mid-June now. Forget it. It's over.
It's not over.
It's over. Trust me.
No, I don't think so.
Trust me.
I don't know. I'm not.
Okay, Denny Hamlin. Face it. You're not going to make the chase.
Oh, jeez.
It's over.
All right, with that, what do you think? There it is.
How about that?
We're good.
What's that tell you?
It's that time.
That's going to do it for this edition of the 31st Lap. We're going to be right back here next week. Mike's going to be with us. Hopefully Rich will be joining us. John will be here. And we'll see you right back here again next week on the 31st Lap.
www.fingerlakes1.com